Barbara inevitably dies. I want to be Tom Selleck.
Alright, recap. Last night was a strange one indeed. Daisy's bar ended up being the meeting place to discuss the cave, the book, and the pictures. It was learned that each of you were having strange dreams, strange and terrible dreams. The pictures and the book, well, there wasn't much to be found. No missing persons matched the pictures, and the book was blank. That was until Jerry showed up. Jerry approached you when he saw the book, and all he said was, "Jerry wants to read." When he couldn't read, he did his best to take the book, but you overwhelmed him, and you were able to restrain the strange fellow and put him in the back of Sheriff Culpepper's car. Jacob, later on, while attempting to calm the man, flipped through the pages while Jerry read the blank book. When he finished, Jacob could have sworn the man had blood in his eyes, and then he proceeded to bash his head into the back of the divider in the police car over and over again. Badly injured, Jerry was taken to the hospital, but with your interest piqued, you went to the hospital in hopes of getting Jerry to answer your questions the next day. Your attempts did not work well, as the man was sedated and still simply repeated, "Jerry wants to read." However, when the book was pressed to Jerry's hand, something fell out. It was a note, and the note read, "I'm going to write you out of existence, motherfucker." Now, moments later, you stand in the front of the hospital deciding what to do, although you have a dinner date later with Jacob's uncle, an uncle with plenty of resources and contacts. So, current time is, let's say, a little before noon.
I don't know if you remember this, but technically speaking, Ian had admitted to a crime and Barbara went after him, but Jack was able to kind of calm her down, and now she's kind of sulking in the corner, just fuming, ready to bite his head off again.
Yep, you guys are all kind of standing out front of the hospital, kind of like the handicap parking spaces.
A fitting place for a woman venting her vagina fume.
So triggered. So triggered.
No, what you really are is steaming.
We're going to get misogynistic comments. We're going to say we're misogynistic.
No, that's what editing's for.
Yeah.
So that's where you just superimpose some super fucking
Positive
8-bit computer voice over what I said.
And that's where a beautiful woman stands.
Okay. Alright. So.
Now that we're certain we've offended them.
Yeah. So you're standing about. It's pretty much normal day at the hospital for everyone else. They're coming and going.
Jacob's just waiting for someone to take him home at this point. He's fucking...
Yeah. I think there's a moment where Ian, I can't for the life of me remember if I showed that fucking piece of paper to everybody.
I picked it up and then handed it to you, and then we told everybody. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, Ian's just. It's not like a grin or anything. He's actually kind of really quiet.
Jack's sort of deep in thought, kind of scratching the stubble on his chin. He'll sort of shoo everyone towards the car so we can take Jacob on home.
Okay. So you head out back towards the sheriff's car in silence. And it's not the same one from last night, obviously. He's got a replacement loaner until the other one gets fixed. But what are you thinking? You gonna just take him home and adjourn for a while? There's other things you can do. If you wanted to visit other people or do other things, that's possible.
I mean, there's things that I want to do, but I don't have access to them yet. Realistically speaking, I still have the photos, don't I?
Did you give them back to Barbara and Jack? I'm sure.
Would they have not been still in the back of the car, or?
I thought they were in a box, and you took them out and.
The only thing I know that I have in my hand is that book, the blank book.
Yeah, you took the. I think they have the pictures and you have the book still, because you took it home, right? You asked them if you could take it home, and you did, and
yep.
You looked at the blank pages for a while.
I think on the ride back, Ian doesn't really say much. I think he's going to look at the book and look at the piece of paper that he has in his hand. And like flip through some pages and try to like see if anything will match up at all.
There's nothing in the book. It's still blank. The paper still says what it said before. But the book.
Can I like hold the paper up to the light and like look through it? Or...
Yeah, it's it looks like normal ink. Normal. The paper is the paper is similar to the paper in the book, which is kind of like I can't remember the type of paper it's called now. It's basically the paper that would be in a Bible, right? That really thin paper. So it's kind of like that. Only you notice that kind of the note itself, it might be that thin, but it looks like that it actually has like the notebook kind of lines, only big. So it's like if you were teaching a child cursive, right? So it's kind of like big like that. From what you can tell, the note was folded up, and it's not very big, right? It's just big enough to write what was written, which is in fairly large print, but...
And so, just for knowledge, that grade of paper is called scritta paper.
There you go.
Fancy Bible paper.
I knew that. I just couldn't remember the name because I looked it up, but...
I just literally looked it up.
Yeah.
I mean, is there much to say? I mean, we're a bunch of normal people going through some shit. I really don't think there's much to say.
Jack, of course, doesn't want to drag Jacob through any traumatic, dangerous, illegal situations. That of course, is a thing.
Well, at least not any more than we already have.
Right.
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
we're already pushing that envelope pretty far, to be honest. Jack really does want to get some lights and climbing gear and so forth and go investigate the cave further. But I don't know that that's something we do today.
No, I mean, today has been a pretty traumatic day. And the day prior, so.
Okay, that's fine with me. So, basically you all go home or back to work for the day, and relax. And it comes about 6 p.m. and you're supposed to go out there for dinner, which you did agree to do. Seems like maybe it's a good idea just to kind of relax, have good dinner, enjoy, some sort of something that, takes your mind off what happened for the day.
Right, not go talk about Jerry in the book.
Right, not go talk about Jerry from the book. But Jacob's uncle, everyone knows of him. He's John Albridge, and he is quite wealthy. So generally where he lives. You guys can get there in any manner of ways. It's snowing a little bit at this point in time, but you drive out there. And you start.
Are we in uniform?
That's up to you. I don't see why you would be, but
No, I mean, I'm going to come from a serviceman's point of view. I do not want to be in uniform any chance that I get. So,
Well, I mean, she doesn't really have much of a free life. She lives at the station, so she'll probably just have her uniform on for shits and giggles.
Okay, that's fine. Doesn't matter. Okay.
Hawaiian shirt and Bermuda shorts, baby.
yes. Ian's probably just in a V-neck matte black. Does Jacob have any other friends there than just us?
At this, well, you don't know yet. You're not there, but you're on the way, right? So, but no, it'll be just the four of you.
Yeah, no. Ian's just wearing a black, close-knit V-neck and some blue jeans and a like ball cap.
Yep. All right. So the snow has stopped for the past couple hours. It was good because John Albridge lived outside of Glenwood Springs a little bit. There were many other houses here, as it was a new development, and it was incredibly expensive. John Albridge lived in a log cabin, kind of. Swing over here. So,
fucking holy shit, this place is fucking fancy.
It was partially a log cabin, but mostly brick and stone, with large balconies and every sort of perk you could think of: jacuzzis, swimming pools, etc., etc. Jacob was here often, but the others had never been here before. It was truly incredible. As you pulled down the lane, the gate blocked your path, but it wasn't more than a few moments that you were stopped before the automatic entry kicked in and let you pass. The mansion had a stone staircase leading up to the front door, which was made of mostly glass, except for the frame. Automatic blinds could be pulled across at the touch of a button or a remote. The speaker next to the door lit up. "Oh, Jacob!" Miranda echoed out. "Come in. Dinner will be ready soon. Just make yourself at home."
And so, yeah, Jacob had gotten there before everyone and was just waiting for everyone to get there.
So you all kind of get there a little after Jacob, and what's your impression of this place?
Fucking way too rich for my blood. There's a fucking, like, jacuzzi spa. Like, fuck. This place must cost literal arms and legs.
Yeah, the entryway you can see there's like an atrium that you pass, and that sort of stuff. So it's very fancy pants indeed.
Yeah, Barbara kind of just looks longingly at the jacuzzi and then looks at Ian, and her eyes just kind of narrow, and she's like, that ain't happening tonight.
You have nothing to worry about, doll.
Oh, she didn't actually say that. That was just kind of an internal thing.
What does the sheriff think of the place?
Oh, the sheriff thinks he sees potential campaign contributions.
Perfect.
That's hilarious.
But actually, Ian will probably say something like, "Your uncle is, well, I didn't realize he was actually this well off, Jacob."
Jacob just says, "I don't know. I never really thought about it, but yeah, he owns a pretty big business."
Yeah, why am I working for the state when I could just be working for your damn uncle? Holy balls.
He'd probably make more than I do, that's for sure.
Have you seen my paycheck? Don't ever get paid by the state, my friend. Don't ever. They pay you when they want to pay you. Ask Barbara. She'd know all about it.
And she actually just nods her head along. She's like, yeah, he's right.
Well, Jacob just kind of shrugs and says, "Well, I guess we'll just have to enjoy tonight as much as possible then."
So, is And tell me you were like super rich there, Jacob.
Well, I mean, I'm not rich.
I mean, this guy lords over you like he's your father. No offense.
Oh, it's fine. My dad's a dick.
Well. Aren't they all?
And then, yeah, Jacob starts to open the door and invite everybody in.
So as you walk in, the room immediately opens into this atrium that is being basically, you see that there's essentially, lights on the ceiling that is, gives it artificial sunlight and that sort of thing. And there's all kinds of plants and, exquisite kind of bushes and that sort of thing. And it kind of opens up into both ways and goes up into a little walkway and then around and then back down into the house proper. And you can pass under a small, what is essentially a bridge almost. It's just a walkway on the second floor, but you can look up there, and around the corner walks out this woman who appears to be in her probably her mid-30s, early 30s maybe, and she has very, very blonde hair, almost white in appearance. And of course that's Miranda in front of you there, and she waves and walks up kind of speedily and gives Jacob a hug, and she's like, I'm glad you came. And she kind of steps back and she goes, but John had to leave. I'm sorry. He had to get on a helicopter and go up to Jackson Hole. Some problem up with the offices up there, and he had to beat the snowstorm that's coming in. And she kind of frowns, but says, but I have dinner's almost ready. And she kind of looks at the rest of you, and she says, I'm sorry. I'm Miranda Albridge. And she extends her hand to whoever will take it.
Sure.
Jack has, of course, removed his hat upon entering the house.
He's always got that 10-gallon sheriff's hat, just always, permanently. Doesn't matter what outfit he's wearing.
Takes her hand. Jack Culpepper, ma'am. Pleasure to meet you.
And she's like, Sheriff Culpepper? And she's like, it's very, very good to see you. I've heard much about you from Jacob and, of course, the newspapers and everything.
Well,
being the sheriff of our county.
It's a fine young man. You folks should be proud of him.
Jacob's just blushing.
And she kind of puts a hand on his shoulder, and she's like, he is a fine man. He does a lot for us here and running the business. If it wasn't for him, I don't even know if we would still be afloat. And she kind of looks at Barbara and Ian.
Yeah, Barbara takes her hand and shakes it, and it's like, Barbara O'Connor, and she's not wearing a hat right now, but she just kind of does an imaginary tip of the hat to her.
Okay.
Fucking the 90s were full of lame asses. That's great, because I would totally do that shit. and think it was nonchalantly cool, or unironically cool, I should say.
Yeah. So she shakes your hand and she nods and she's like, nice to meet you. She's like, how do you know these fine gentlemen?
Well, she kind of jerks a thumb at Jack. She's like, oh, that crouchy old one, well, he's kind of like my dad around here. He's been keeping an eye on me and making sure I don't get into too much trouble.
And she kind of...
We met... Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
And she's like, the boy we met on a call, of course not on anything he did, of course, but seems to be a fine young man.
And she smiles and she's like, well, hopefully he's letting you get into a little trouble. And she kind of just smirks and turns and then looks kind of up at Ian, and she's like, and I don't think I've met you.
No, you wouldn't, unless you worked real close with your husband or Jacob here. I'm the new Fire Watch. Well, basically game warden. That's really what I'm supposed to be doing, but most days I sit in the Fire Watch tower and watch. I only recently got here since, well, the fire happened.
And she nods, and she's like, "Oh yes." She's like, "That's the reason John wanted to have you over to the house. He thought it might be good to get you all together and maybe have a few drinks and some good food and maybe just talk about things and have a nice night and not have to worry about your jobs or anything like that. So I'm sorry he's not here, but I'll do my best to keep you entertained."
Well, I would say, ma'am, that it's appreciated. It's been pretty hectic lately, and he kind of looks over at Jacob. He's like, just a long couple of days.
And he just gives a nod.
And she's like, "Well, you'll have to tell me all about it." And she
she don't want to know. Yeah, she don't want to know this shit. So I guess that's a question. Did he? I told him what happened, the uncle, but he probably didn't tell her what I told him.
You don't know.
Okay, yeah.
Not sure.
See, Tet's playing this chick like she's the evil villain, right? But this chick is the evil villain. This is our vampire, if there ever was one. Like, I'm telling you, she's got to be a vampire because she is sucking that money dick.
Stupid.
If that qualifies for vampiredom, then never mind. We're gonna get too many.
Yeah. God. All right. So she smiles and she's like, "Well, come this way." She's like, "Jacob, lead him to the dining room, not the formal one, just the cozy one in the den." And she's like, "I'll be back with food in a few minutes."
I need to come with a warning label every session I play this game.
Jacob leads you guys to one of the three.
Dedicated team of sensors.
Go ahead.
I just said Jacob leads you guys to one of the three dining rooms they have.
Jesus Christ. It's like, Ian, as he's walking by some African statue, picks it up and looks at picks it up in his hand and looks at it and is turns it over upside down and maybe messes with something and the tip of the spear kind of bends a little bit. And he's like, "Oh shit," and he puts it down before anybody notices.
Yeah, and John is a big game hunter, not just in the United States or anything, but he has trophies of Jacob would know this. Obviously, he has trophies of lions and elephants and the crap like that all over the house. It's kind of weird to see all that, but yeah, the guy.
Side note.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, go ahead, Ted. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Elephant hunting is actually a business now that helps fund the preservation of elephants. It's pretty cool.
Interesting.
Yeah, they out the lesser of the species, the formed ones, ones that don't really have their horn.
Call the herd.
Yeah, to breed a more proper species in lieu of natural selection, because most elephants, especially in Africa, are very protected to the point that it's better to kill them off and humanely kill them off and let some hunter think he's actually hunting them. But anyway, yeah, no, Ian sees all this shit and his eyes just go wide.
Yeah, so there's good. Sorry.
You didn't tell me your uncle was all into this kind of shit. This is awesome.
Yeah, he's a pretty good shot, and he has the money to go to where the animals are big.
Yep. The state does not pay me enough.
And so in the room, other than that, there's some lounge chairs and there's a dry bar sitting there with some glasses of fairly expensive booze, scotch, cognac, anything you can really think of that would be decent. There's a fairly large circular table with comfortable chairs around it. Like I say, this isn't the fanciest room in the house, even though it's pretty fancy. And she comes out with this large silver kind of plate and places it down. And it looks like roasted duck. And, over the next few minutes, she brings out other things too, like vegetables and steamed, good, very good food. I'm not going to go George R. R. Martin and explain every single thing. So,
foodophile.
Martin. Yeah.
Literally the fucking crispness of the fucking bread.
Yeah. And so she brings everything out. There's glasses to have a drink, and she sits down, and you have some of your meal, and she's talking. She's like, she finally says something to the effect of, yeah. She's like, well, like I said, I just wanted to have you out and maybe talk about the good times instead of the fire, the cave, things like that. I just think that maybe, and she just kind of picks up her glass of red wine. She's like, a toast to the heroes of Fire King Mountain or Storm King Mountain. And she kind of says it like that, toasting you guys.
Yeah, I mean, relatively, revelry in the day's events.
Yeah, Barbara's actually kind of hesitant to raise her hand to toast as well, but she finally does, just kind of old memory kind of behind her eyes.
What is Jacob and...
Yeah, he also toasts, but he doesn't drink any of the alcohol.
That's fine. Here, you can have a Coke.
Water.
Yeah. You have a Coke or whatever,
Perfect.
Jack will, of course, salute.
Take a long while and nice tea.
God. So she kind of leans back and, she's just kind of, talking. Anybody want to bring up any specific conversation or?
I mean, I'm pretty sure Ian wouldn't say anything, but pertaining to. But I mean, he'll talk about the firefighter that he knows that he ended up saving, and then if it's brought up, obviously, but it's a night to not forget.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. She asks you. She's like, well, what's his name? I don't know.
His name is Asher Howard. Unfortunately, his friend, he was with us for the majority of the way down the mountain, but when I ran back to get Barbara, his compatriot didn't make it, Tom Mason.
And she frowns and she's like, well, if it weren't for you, then they both would have certainly died.
No, it's just, well, somebody had to do it,
She's like, somebody had to do it, but I don't believe that's in your job description, is it?
No, but Marines run to the sound of danger, and, well, I wasn't going to leave Barbara back there, so it was kind of a choice, really.
And she nods.
Hard, but a choice.
At that, Barbara just kind of excuses herself from the table and kind of walks to another room.
Okay. And so Miranda kind of looks at you go and looks back at Ian, and she's like, is she okay? I didn't mean to upset her with any of my questions.
No. She's a lot tougher than she looks, but Jack could attest to that. Granted, I don't know her all that well, but she'll be fine. She was burned pretty bad. That's why I had to pick her up and carry her.
And so Miranda nods kind of and takes a drink and says, well, I'm so sorry. And she's like, I can't imagine what you four have been through. Jacob's told me a little bit, but not a great deal. So it's good to finally meet you guys.
I mean, I didn't tell her anything though.
That would have been 6 months ago. She would have heard it through osmosis. So I mean,
right?
Yeah.
I guess we would have talked some. Yeah, I guess we would have talked about.
You can't just like not talk about shit like this.
Yeah.
I feel you. Yeah.
I mean, she's talking about the fire itself.
Right,
nothing else.
Yeah.
I mean, something that major in your life, yeah, you would have probably told because this lady's your like aunt, really, right? Like,
yeah.
I mean, you're around her a lot. She's pretty important to you in your life. Like, I mean, I don't see why you wouldn't say, like passing comments at least.
Yeah, I mean, you didn't.
Major,
you would never have. You probably would have never said anything about the cave or anything like that, but.
Which she also brought up, which is what threw me off. But never mind, it's all good. I got you. It's all good.
No, she definitely. I mean, if don't just. That's fine, but what you just said is important.
Yeah, all things are important when the GM says so, and the telltale like they will remember this quote comes up. Fucking God, I fucking hate that thing. The so and so will remember this. Well, for fucking course they will, assholes. Anyway, yeah, no, I mean, is there anything that you want us to roll to not spew, or is like?
No, you can choose to speak as freely or as guarded as you want. That's fine.
Speaking of which, Jack, I was supposed to ask you about some info systems, something for the sheriff's office. He like snaps his fingers and he's like, God. Sydney wanted me to bring it up. She said she's coming by like today or today. And he's like, oh, wait, no, tomorrow or the day after that to, try to sell you something.
Okay. Jack's not quite sure what Ian's talking about, but...
Said something about the internet, whatever that is.
Sounds like a fad.
It's like, I don't know. You should see it though. Her room's pretty wicked.
Yeah, well, you know how I like all the shiny new toys. I'll see what she has to show me.
God, what would be the Windows operating system?
There's no Windows doesn't even exist at this time.
Oh God, what's the precursor to that though?
Yeah,
DOS. Well, maybe Windows 3.1 or something.
3.1. Yeah, I think 3.1 actually does exist.
I'm pretty sure it was 3.1, and then
she was trying to use 3.1, and then I got the blue screen of death.
What was the precursor to the actual internet? I'm trying to remember the name of it.
ARPANET.
Yep.
ARPANET. Would it be active in this time period, or would dial-up be? Because I don't remember if that'd be several years later.
It's not. It is definitely dial-up. ARPANET is, but it's a network of computers on ARPANET.
Mm-hmm.
So as they're having their conversation,
acoustically coupled modem.
Jacob's gonna ask if everyone's done eating, which I assume everyone is by this point.
I've got this like huge honking plate of like ham that Ian's just like. It's smoked to like perfection, and Ian's just like taking a plate. Like everybody else got what they wanted, and Ian took the plate of ham. Just like, yeah, I'm gonna eat this.
Okay, so he's gonna say to everyone, "Do you guys want a tour of the house? Unless you need help cleaning up, Miranda."
Oh, she's like, "Oh no, not at all. Feel free."
And then he he stands up and kind of points everyone out the next room.
All right, out of character, Jacob, point me towards the Batcave. Where all his fancy, he's a millionaire, so he's got to have a Batcave. He's got to have like a...
Yeah, so he's trying to show you. He's gonna show you all the cool rooms, but
he has a den.
He's got
like
something to tell you guys too. So as soon as we're out in another room, he just whispers to damn it, what's Rivers? What's your character's name?
Ian.
Ian. He whispers to Ian, I never told either one of them about us being in a cave.
Wait, what? She brought up a cave?
Yeah. One of the first things she mentioned was us having troubles in the cave, and I never mentioned to either one of them anything about a cave.
Ian just kind of like raises an eyebrow as he's like eating the last bits of meat off this piece of ham bone at the sheriff. Is like, she must have just learned about it or something. Do you talk in your sleep or something?
I mean, I'd be asleep, so I don't know, but I don't think so.
Well, here's a little word of the wise. Record yourself when you sleep, or at least tape record it.
I always do. I'm just kidding.
Well, I mean, Ian literally actually says that. I just got interrupted before. He's like, I always keep a recorder on.
So when he kind of dismisses it, Jacob just is like, okay, well, if you say so, and then just continues to show them the rooms, like the den, I don't know, places where he has his biggest trophies.
Looking for the bookcase that has the little like drop down thing where, you know, it slides to the right and, you know, the door slides away and the bat cave is there. That's what I'm looking for.
And then I was whispering to Ian, but you guys definitely are within earshot. I just figured Jacob just figures he's the only one that's kind of as worried about the situation.
Irrationality is my thing, dog. You like he's the one who's all like shifty eyes and like looking over his shoulder and shit. I've played that up thus far.
Right, you just needed to know if I heard it or not.
Yeah, you definitely heard it, but if you have input for sure, then yeah, you heard it. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I think Ian, he's like playing with the ham bone in his hand, and he like looks around and he's like, How often does your uncle go on these trips, man? If you mind me asking. I mean, he just got on.
He's in and out all the time. Yeah.
Yeah. So
a helicopter.
Yeah, he probably drove to the local small municipal airport.
Your uncle has a...
What? This joint doesn't have a helipad?
I totally thought that's what you meant.
No, it doesn't have a helipad. But...
That'd be too cool. Like, he would straight up... If he wasn't James Bond, I'd be mad. He has his own fucking helipad.
No.
Trash James Bond.
So, like, standing out there somewhere is Barbara, and you run into her.
Yeah, she's...
Well, hello there, short, blonde, and gloomy.
She doesn't even really say anything. She's just kind of standing in front of the hearth, you know, I'm guessing there's a hearth around here somewhere.
Yeah, there's
Big
a fire.
old fireplace.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. And she's just kind of staring at it, just kind of... And she's kind of holding herself and still shivers a little bit. She just doesn't really answer.
And so as you guys are kind of standing about, Miranda pokes her head around the corner and she's like, I think you should look outside. We're getting some pretty bad weather. And you kind of look out one of the glass doors and it's just dumping snow. You've probably been here a couple hours and it looks like there's a couple feet just already just dumping around the house. And she's like, I'm not sure. She like frowns. She's like, we have the all-terrain vehicles. John's Range Rover's here, but I don't think it can make it out of the driveway, let alone down the hill. And she's like, I think you guys are going to need to stay here.
I mean, Ian just looks over his shoulder at towards the lady, and she says, "Well, Miss Albridge, if it'd be all right with you, I'm reckoning probably be in our best interest." As he looks outside, and Ian's a survivalist, you know, like going out on that shit's probably a no-go. Even, especially with the way he's dressed, he doesn't have any of his shit. It's like, it's very nice of you to offer, though.
She's like, of course, I have plenty of bedrooms, obviously. And she kind of just like like no big deal to her, right?
Well, Jack, it looks like you might have to shovel your your vehicle out from under the snow when we wake up.
Jack kind of grumpily nods at that.
Or, make your deputy do it.
Kind of chuckles at that.
The passing, well, shit does roll downhill last time I checked. He kind of laughs at that. He's like, oh, man. Well, yeah, Jacob, you got anything else to show us? Has your uncle got anything crazy, like a giant bear or some, like, huge ivory tusks that I can ogle?
And Miranda smiles and she's like, of course. He's got his game room. And she just kind of waves down the hallway towards where it would be. She's like, all his African collection is in there.
Ooh.
And she's like,
Ian actually
let me show you.
Perks up at this. He's like, does he have anything from Northwest Africa, like Egypt, or any like sand cheetahs or anything like that?
And she's like, I don't really know the specifics of it. I just know that this is his Africa room. And she's like, I'm sorry, I don't know much about the hunting thing. She kind of just...
She said hunting, confirmed for villain.
And she walks you down like towards the room and flips on the light. How does she look? She's dressed in...
How is she dressed? We didn't even get that, bro.
Yeah, so she's dressed in a pretty simple...
Black Morticia Addams looking?
Yeah, pretty much a blue dress, probably to the top of the knee. She has a some sort of necklace on, looks like it's silver, with a simple pendant on it. Nothing, and a couple rings, a humongous wedding ring and engagement ring. Pretty much it. Nothing that you wouldn't expect from somebody like her. She's very, very fit, obviously. More to the skinny side than athletic side, perhaps.
Yeah, no, I'd like to see this game room.
So she takes you into the game room and flips on the light. It's what you would expect. There's all kinds of things. There's elephant tusks, and there's a lion head, and zebra, and things like that. There's even a giraffe head. So all kinds of crazy stuff. To Jacob, this is no big deal. He's been in here 100 times.
Yeah, no,
he's just watching
like
her.
Awestruck. He's just awestruck. He's like, God damn, this is amazing.
And she just kind of shrugs. She's like, I don't really tend to come in here. It's a little creepy to me.
I could get that. I think Ian's gonna look around. Not be particularly nosy, but like look around at all the shit.
Yeah, there's all kinds of crap. Just like I say, mostly hunting trophies. There's what looks like some sort of rifle that's hung up in the room. It's like a long-range hunting rifle that you would use for such.
Is it an elephant killer?
Yeah, the barrel is super long, right? So it's something like that, yeah. I
Robert,
personally don't know, but
Rob, do you know that the elephant gun, the God, what is the round called? Freaking like cannon on a gun in a gun shape. Oh God, now I gotta go find the round type. But anyway, it's a fucking huge gun. It's been known to break shoulders and shit.
Well, there's all sorts of huge. The 577 Tyrannosaur, once upon a time, was the big exotic game cartridge.
What a name.
Yeah. But this rich guy probably uses some old British double rifle and like a
Yeah, like
375 H&H.
An over-under conversion kit of like an 1870 shotgun that shoots like rounds as big as my fists.
Yeah, whatever the most fancy gun you can think of that's like old and restored and that kind of thing, it probably would be it. Right.
Yeah, I mean, Ian like, actually, I'm looking to fish for a roll here.
Okay. What would you like to roll? What would you like to learn?
I would like to. I'm gonna use my previous experience with Middle Eastern occultism, and I would like to roll my occult dice here if I could. And
sure.
I want to add in that I'm looking around, like I like palm the note in my hand, like a little piece of paper, and I like look around at like any like sprawling pieces of paperwork or like books in the room. Undoubtedly there might be some, right?
Yeah, there doesn't seem to be any kind of books in the room. There's some certificates of authenticity type of thing from hunting companies, where the game was shot, that sort of thing. When, but
well, I guess I'll just I'll play it up as an investigation roll then.
Sure, go ahead.
What do I got to lose? What do I have to lose? So I think it is for investigation. It is. Oh Jesus.
Investigation, intelligence. I mean, seems like for this to know, about the stuff.
See, I'm looking for something specific because I've been alerted to it. So my reasoning is I want to use occultism. See if I could even look at anything in tandem with investigation, if it's possible.
Sure, go ahead. Mm-hmm. Roll your 3 dice.
Thanks. So my stat dice is going to be 1. My skill dice is going to be... Now, this is the occultism test.
Mm-hmm.
Mystical isn't...
Yeah, so you look around and you don't see anything that appears, I mean, all this is out of the normal, right? Out of the norm, but nothing that would be like supernatural or, something strange in that regards.
Okay, well, I guess I'll just try my investigation then, if that's all right.
Sure, go ahead.
Nope.
Yeah, same thing. You don't see anything other than, big, what you would expect to be a big game hunter, right? That would have in here. Everything is pretty much makes sense as far as that goes. So as you're kind of in there, the lights flicker once or twice, and she's just like frowns, and she's like, the snow is getting heavy out there. And she's like, I'm going to go make sure the fire's going, throw some more logs on in case the power goes out. The generator should kick on, and she just kind of shrugs and goes and walks out of the room.
Yeah, I mean, Ian kind of steps back from whatever he was like poring over and just kind of puts something back in his pocket. Yeah. Jacob.
It should be noted. Sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
It should be noted that Barbara is still in, I guess, like some sort of study or wherever where that fireplace was.
That's fine.
Jack's probably looking around the trophy room with Ian.
What's Jacob doing?
Is Jacob with us?
Yeah.
I was watching her, and then as she walked out, I would have stayed with you guys.
Yeah, she just kind of was standing there and watching Ian look at stuff, and seems kind of, happy that he was interested in things, as far as you could tell.
Yeah, I mean, Ian just kind of steps back and, looks around the room again, and he's like, Well, I don't know, Jacob. I think she's just interested in your well-being. Kind of like a mother would be, I guess.
He's like, yeah, I don't know. Maybe I just need to get some rest.
Or some rest would be a good thing, I'll tell you that.
Okay. Well, if that's the way you want to go, we can move on to going to bed.
Unless Chris wants to talk to the lady who's putting logs on the fire.
Yeah. So she walks next to you and kind of throws a couple more logs on the fire, and she looks over at Barb, and she kind of like puts a hand on her shoulder, and she's like, "Are you okay, sweetheart?"
And she just kind of sighs, and she's like, "I apologize. I've been a terrible house guest. I didn't mean any offense."
And she like shakes her head. She's like, "Of course not." She's like, "Jacob told me what happened, and I feel bad for bringing it up. I guess I didn't realize that you had been burnt."
The fire, it certainly hurt me, but the fact that somebody was lost because I failed to get away enough, that's what hurt me the most. It's the fact that my actions directly led to somebody else's death.
And just as you say that, the new logs that got put on the fire pop, an ember kind of flies at you and like hits you in the face, kind of.
Oh yeah, she like just legitimately like freaks the fuck out for a second, and like I'm guessing like kind of backpedals towards the couch and like jumps behind it.
And Miranda's like turns and she's like, "Shit!" And she like kind of pulls. There's those screens you pull in front of fireplaces. So she pulls the screens in front of it and walks back over to you. And she's like, "I am so sorry. Are you okay?" She's like, "Let me look." And she looks at your face, and you kind of feel that there's like a welt there, maybe.
Yeah, she's like definitely wild-eyed and breathing hard, and just kind of that kind of animalistic fear that you get, and it takes her a moment to kind of get back to reality, and she's like, "Yeah, I'm sorry, that was unwarranted. It just fire just ever since then, I don't know."
And she's like, I understand. And she's like, let's get you to bed. You need a good night's rest, I think. And she kind of helps you up, and she kind of like, as if you allow her to, she will lead you back out into the hallway where the rest of everyone is.
She's not mean.
And she
nods.
Yeah, no, I understand. When she gets out in the hallway, she kind of says to everyone, she's like, "I think we all just need a good night's sleep." She's like, "It's snowing out there. No one's going anywhere." And she's like, "Jacob, will you show them to the guest rooms, and then I'll bring down some extra nightwear?" She's like, "Just wait."
Jack looks a little uncomfortable. I'm sorry to impose, ma'am.
And she's like, "Oh, like I said, no hassle whatsoever. I'll have some good breakfast tomorrow morning. I don't think our cook's going to be able to get here."
I just assumed you made it yourself.
She's like, "I made some of it," but she kind of shrugs. She's like, "I guess I'm better at some things than cooking." She's like, and she kind of shrugs.
That is the wine talking, if it ever was.
And she kind of smiles and laughs.
Fucking trophy wife. At least we're calling it like we see it, right? Like this is total. She was.
Well, have you seen John's picture of what he looks like?
Right.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Fucking, looks like
He looks like that.
He looks like he's like from backwoods Tennessee, and he fishes all the time.
Yeah. So.
At least he's got a great mustache. Like, that thing's fucking great. Look at that thing. Angry fucking caterpillar status.
All right, so it's getting late, and you get everything that you need to hit the hay. You're given pajamas and toothbrushes and that sort of thing. And so eventually you find yourselves very tired from, you didn't sleep very much last night, if at all, for some of you. And Jacob has his own room. The rest of the guest rooms are kind of right next to each other. And Miranda, you have one final drink with her, and she's like, well, I think I'm going to go up to bed. And she, hugs Jacob goodnight and kisses him on the cheek, and she's like, just show them to the rooms and make sure they have everything they need if I forgot something. And she kind of heads upstairs to where her bedroom is and leaves you all down there.
All right, so yeah, Jacob will ask if everybody's situated, and if everybody's good, he'll probably head off to his room.
Ian will actually. Is his guest room adjoined to a balcony like it looks in the picture?
Actually, it is.
Yeah, I think Ian, after getting ready to sleep and all that stuff, he probably just walks outside with his just in some his jeans and feet out, just to let the cold air get to him.
You're in knee deep snow, right? So.
Oh no, I was saying just on my balcony, right?
The balcony is covered in snow too, right? It's outside, if that's what you mean.
Okay, so there isn't a individual awning. I gotcha.
That's fine. Whatever. Gotcha. You can make a space where you don't get totally soaked. Socks.
All I wanted to do was take a seat on a lawn style chair and just kind of let the cool air get to me for a little bit and then go to sleep. Right?
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, the snow keeps falling and kind of hits your shoulders and hair, and it's very thick snow, right? Very the fat snow where it's not all that cold out comparatively, but huge heavy snows. So it seems like you made the right choice to stay here, as far as you can tell.
Yeah, Ian, after a little bit of getting chilled to the bone, will go back inside and go the fuck to sleep.
Okay. Everybody else heading to bed?
Jacob will try his best to sleep.
Jacob feels extremely tired. As soon as his head hits the pillow, amazingly, he falls asleep.
I sleep exactly on the I will write you out of existence underneath my pillow, underneath my head.
Okay, weirdo.
No, I'm kidding. Well, it's more like it's in his hand, and he puts the book under there too, because he would have carried it with him.
Okay.
Just to kind of keep it safe, because
keep it secret, keep it safe.
Mm-hmm. Don't tap it if you can't wrap it.
Yeah. All right, Barb. Night.
Barbara kind of approaches Jack, and she's just like, Jack, I don't want to make this any weirder than it is, but do you mind if I slept on the floor in your room? I don't really feel safe tonight, and it's the fire's getting to me. I'd like to know that there's somebody there that I can depend on.
Jack looks at Barb a little concerned, tells her, sure, come on, and then steers her towards the bed, puts himself in, I assume there's some sort of overstuffed chair or something in these guest rooms.
Yeah.
She just kind of gives him a daughterly kind of hug, and she's like, thanks, Jack, you're the best.
He just kind of smiles and gives her a nod.
Give me a raise. All right, so even Jack, who's sitting up when he sleeps, has no real problem falling asleep. All of you are exhausted from the day before, completely exhausted.
No, that's how Jack does his best, sleeping behind his desk.
That's right. That is right. Alright, 1 second here. All right.
With what's her face in the moo.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
Cashmere movie.
Yeah. No, he's talking about your secretary, the secretary.
Oh
Yeah.
God.
Yeah. So you guys are sleeping until something happens in the middle of the night. You awake to a strange sound. It is completely dark out, obviously.
So like it's just a loud noise in the
It-
night.
It sounds like screaming, right?
Oh yeah, like the instant Ian hears that, he like snaps up out of bed and is like flings open the door and like runs out into the hallway.
Okay, hold on. So that you just went out in the balcony, but okay. So everybody is seeing darkness, right?
Yep.
Okay,
Yeah.
on the map, right? That's what I'm asking. All right. So when you move, let's just. I don't want to do initiative or anything because that's unnecessary. But I want you to, when you move, only move 2 spaces at a time. Okay, and let's just do it in order of. Let's do it from. Let's do Ian first, since he just spoke first, and then I'll tell you who goes next. So you go out in the hallway, is what you're saying, right?
Yeah, I think so. I think Ian he bolts up from his door. He like throws on like his he's got like a flight jacket that he grabbed from one of the AC-1 pilots and before he left, and he like throws it on and he quickly shoves the book and the note in there and like just jumps up out of bed. This would have been like pre-prepared, right? And he like steps out. And he's like looking around. He's looking for like a light switch somewhere.
Yeah, so there's a light switch right there, and you hit it, and nothing happens. The lights don't come on. This bedroom overlooks the atrium that you came in on, and there's all those lights that were on the atrium. They were on all night, but they're not currently on. There appears to be no light. It's dark.
Yeah, like is this like crazy dark?
It's pretty dark. The only light source is actually the moon reflecting off the snow outside.
How high is the snow on the balcony if I look back through, right? Like,
it's mid thigh high probably, and your balconies are all connected, right? So,
yeah, I think Ian just like shit. Because do I know if they're nearby me or something?
You know that Jack was in the room next to you. That's all you know.
Yeah, Ian will go over to this door and try to like bang on it as fast as he can.
Yeah,
as he's
just
like looking around.
Let's wait for them to go first, right? So
yeah, no, that's fine.
Yes, let's move you back. Yep, sorry.
Ian wasn't quiet at all. Like his door opens very loudly.
Yep. You all actually wake up at the same time. But they would have heard you come out. So Sheriff and Barb, you guys can basically go at the same time.
Okay, I assume the doorway is here to the east?
Yeah, those two adjourn. Those 2 rooms have a door in between.
Oh, so that's the adjoining room. Then the doorway to the hall is what, south?
Correct. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Jack jumps out of the chair and out into the hall.
Okay, so you see Ian in the darkness down the hallway. What does Barb do?
Now, I came in my uniform. Does that mean I have my belt on?
You could have your belt on.
All right, so I know. I
Well, you don't have it on now.
She's carrying the big light.
Yeah.
But, okay.
I mean, it's there with you, right? Yeah.
Yeah, she kind of belts that on real quick because I imagine it's just impossible to sleep in. But she fumbles for like a little mini mag light, like the kind that you use to look at small corners, not necessarily used to illuminate big spaces.
Okay.
And she's gonna try and turn that on.
All right, hold on. So I'm just gonna do. How would I do this? Can you see more now?
You gotta get the creepiest music. Yeah, a little bit.
Let me. So how far can you see? I mean, yeah, it's dynamic lighting, so things are blocked, right? How far can you see south of you?
15 feet max.
Okay.
From my token.
That's probably pretty good then. Okay. All right. So you get your flashlight and you kind of like peer past Jack's head. Jacob. So you know, basically, that they're on the other side of the house, on the same floor, right? You have your own personal bedroom that you're over here. You're next to the jacuzzi and all the fun stuff.
Is there anything that I would have in here that I can grab, like a bat or any kind of makeshift weapon in this room? Hearing screams. If not, then you'll just.
Yeah, you have your softball. You can.
Right, I think it could be arguable that Jacob has a rifle.
Yeah, see, that's what I was gonna say. But
yeah, I think that's fine. You might store your rifle. Let's say you.
It's my room, so I mean.
Yeah, it's your room, right? Exactly. So you would have your rifle here.
So yeah, he's gonna snatch his rifle, and then if I have a light in here as well, like a flashlight or a lantern, he would try to do that, but that might be asking too much.
Well, you have in your pack you have.
I guess I do. Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, but you can't. So you choose one or the other, right? You can hold your rifle, but you couldn't do anything with it, right?
I can't aim it. Yeah, he's just gonna hold his rifle and grab the flashlight as well.
All right. So let me
take his 2 steps.
Yeah. Hold on. Okay. All right. So you're out in the hallway.
Yep.
All right. So now what I want you guys to do, let's go ahead and role play. So, as far as Ranger Grove and Sheriff Culpepper and the deputy over there, what do you guys? Because you guys are all right next to each other.
Yeah, I think Jack, you see Ian like look over in your direction as you kind of come out, and you see him like looking around and look over at you, and he's got like you heard what I just heard, didn't you? Look on his face, like the oh shit, like.
And Jack gives Ian the nod, like, yep.
Yeah, I think Ian. Yeah, with that, Ian definitely he puts a hand out and he like gets down, like he puts his hand down to like crouch down, and are we behind like a barister or like a divider from the lower part of the atrium?
Yeah, there's like a banister type of thing.
Yeah, I look over at I like kind of move over and look at Barb and do like an ixnay on the lights, like basically he cuts across his throat and then he points to the flashlight.
Yeah, she gives him like a "Are you stupid?" kind of look.
Ian's probably gonna punch you if you don't let him do this. He doesn't feel like dying today. That was a death scream. That sounded like somebody was being fucking murdered. He just like looks at you, doesn't say anything, and he just like puts his hand over the light of it, and he puts like his free finger over his mouth.
Yeah, and she shakes her head, just thinking this is all completely ridiculous. But she turns it off. But she's still got her. She pulls out her Glock.
Okay.
Yeah. I really wouldn't be justified in having a weapon. So I think Ian, the only thing he would even have is like could I reasonably get myself to like this big ass fucking gun?
Well, we'll see. Okay. So you know that the gun would be over kind of where Jacob was staying. So he's on the other corner of the house. Everything's completely dark, so it's hard to know exactly where that is. And so you know the general direction, but it's like I don't know exactly where it is.
Well, can I use the wall as a railing? And
to walk along it, you can.
Yeah. So what you guys? Well,
but
just
hold on.
Play it off.
Before we
go
do
ahead.
that, so I want you guys to all roll initiative. So roll d10, and then add your initiative score, and let me know what they are.
Or just click the initiative macro.
Oh yeah, just click the initiative. Perfect. Forgot about that.
I didn't even see the initiative macro.
It's a token. It's a token. So if you click on your token, you should have it there. But that didn't work for Sheriff Culpepper.
Should have. Unless he entered something wrong.
Did you enter what your...
He needs to put in his modifier in his initiative.
Yeah.
See, mine added properly.
Yeah. So you add what your initiative score is to the D10.
Just put the number.
Mm-hmm.
It would be like 4 or 5.
Score?
Say that again.
And where's your initiative score?
So it's on your sheet.
Oh, I see it. Mine's a 6. Okay.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah, I'm still trying to find it.
Top left, Chris. Click your token. Top left.
No, I just manually rolled it. It's a 10.
That's fine too.
Oh, I'm trying to find my initiative score is what I meant.
Oh, what's in your sheet?
It's in the traits section of your sheet. It's like speed, size, and then initiative.
Ah.
Hold on one second.
Hey, Rob, would these police-issued Glocks have glow-in-the-dark sights?
That would be totally reasonable.
Yeah, you didn't. They're not on your... You don't have them because you did not tell me you had them beforehand.
Then what?
What? A sight?
What?
A sight? A glow-in-the-dark sight?
It's built into the gun itself. It's standard issue.
Well...
But if it's not a big deal, if it doesn't come with it, it doesn't come with it. I'm not going to...
Well, it doesn't by stats, so... All right, Sheriff goes first. So the way we'll do this, so your speed, you can move your speed, and then you have an action. Each grid square is 5 feet. So if you have a speed of 10, you can move 2. If it's uneven, we'll just round up. So if you have 9, you can go ahead and move 2, that sort of thing. So go ahead and move or do whatever you're going to do.
All right. And I think Jacob is east of us?
You know that's like the outside, so he would be south and then east somewhere. The back part of the house.
All right, and Jack will move. And I think that's it for that turn.
Okay. All right. Please, one moment while I do something.
Move my aunt that's gonna murder us.
Okay, go ahead. Ian.
I think Ian's actually going to do an action first before he moves.
That's fine.
Ian is going to roll stealth.
Okay.
So that is, I think it's dexterity. I'm pretty sure.
You could do that.
Actually,
there's no set stuff, right? So,
can I actually use my wits to do this? And I can explain why. It's in the finesse bracket, so.
Sure. I'd be okay with that.
I want to time it with the like the natural creaking of the wood floorboards of every time I take a step.
Okay.
I mean, the storm's still raging outside, yeah.
Snow, yeah.
I mean, it's still blowing and it's still causing a noise, right? This house isn't soundproof.
Yeah, sure, that's fine.
So I am going to click my token, click the fighting roll. I'm going to type in my stat dice, which will be 4. And then skill dice, obviously only 1. Is there any modifiers to this?
It's dark out, so it's dark inside, so give yourself 2 bonus.
Okay. And anything other than that?
Nope.
I don't have any armor other than quote-unquote heavy clothing. I'm not going to be penalized for not having like a shirt on, right? Other than just the heavy jacket that I'm wearing.
No, you're fine. No penalty. Anything like that.
Okay, and that'll be submit. I was going to ask, is it too much to ask for like having a knife or something? Like
you could have a knife. Mm-hmm.
Okay, well,
just wear it on your belt or whatever. All right, so 5 successes, so that's good enough to succeed. So, all right, I'll keep that in mind.
And what Ian's going to do, and I get to move my speed, right?
You get to move.
Oh, and stealth. So, I just looked at the rules, by the way. It's half your speed while you're in stealth.
So
I will have to make tests as you call them. So just to speed it up, it's just whenever you want me to make another test. Like if I go out of the half movement ever, then it would be like non-stealth.
So as I was saying, right, each of these squares is 5 feet. So you can move up to your speed based on what that is. So if your speed is 10, you can move 2 squares. If your speed is 15, you can move 3. If you're moving half, you're moving 1 at a time, right? So just keep that in mind. What's your speed?
Fuck, where is it?
It is. I think it's more towards the top, right? It's 10. Yours
it's
is 10.
10.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd be moving at 1.
Yep.
I think. Where am I gonna go? I think I'm gonna go down the stairs opposite of Ian. Or not Ian, not of myself, but opposite of. Well, no, I'll bring up the rear. Yeah, I'll bring up the rear. So what you see, Barbara, is you see Ian like basically on 3 limbs. Like he's keeping one hand free, but every time something shifts in the house, he puts another hand down, and so on and so forth. And he's like not crawling, but he's shifting his weight on 3 limbs as he moves forward. It's kind of like weird and military looking.
Okay. Bear with me while I do something.
I didn't mean to throw a wrench at you.
No, you're not throwing a wrench at me. Go ahead, Barbara.
I saw Jack go down south, right?
Yep.
You can see his token if you look.
Yeah.
I can't see his token.
Yeah. So you're not exactly sure where he went, but she can't see that far.
All right,
Right?
I'm just gonna go down stealth, or down 2.
Okay, that's fine.
And I'm just this time I'm gonna whisper forward because I can see him now that I'm on him, right?
Yep. Well, can you see him? You tell me.
Yeah, I can see him. I
Yeah.
wanted to make sure. That
If you can see the token
like,
on the map, then you can see him.
Okay, and I just kind of whispered, I'm like, Jack, it's me. I'm going to keep, and she puts her hand on his shoulder, but she doesn't let it go. Kind of like, if you ever see cops do that kind of thing where they have one hand on one shoulder while they got a gun trained on the other side of them kind of thing.
Okay.
So it's meant for me to keep moving with him, so anywhere he goes, I'm supposed to go, even if I have to spend my turn doing it. But I'll be with him.
That's fine. I got it.
We go in order, right?
Yeah, we go in order.
We go in order. So until we see something or something happens, then we can just say that the turns happen all more or less at the same time, right?
Yeah, that's fine. That makes sense to me. Okay, so Jacob, go ahead. Or actually, let me do one thing first.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Where did the screams, did they sound far away when they happened, or did it sound fairly close?
The strange thing is you can't pinpoint where they are. They're coming from the house somewhere, but you would assume they come from upstairs where she is, where your aunt is, but you're not sure.
He's just gonna walk forward, I guess.
Okay.
He's not thinking to really be quiet. He wants to make sure everyone's okay.
Yep.
2 steps.
Well, I mean, technically speaking, the reason why Barbara had a flashlight out in the first place was it seemed to her like the police thing to do is announce your presence. And
no, that's fine. You don't have to explain it. It's fine. So Jacob has his flashlight out, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So can you see out that door? I'm assuming a little bit.
I can see out it, but
yeah, perfect.
Yeah,
I just wanted to make sure my dynamic lighting is working. Okay.
it's working perfect.
One moment. Okay, Sheriff, go ahead.
And actually, hang on. I guess Jack's action is hold until it's Barb's turn so that the two of them can move in tandem.
That's fine, too. 1 second.
Can I have an incidental?
Sure.
Since I'm like in a line with him and I can see Jack.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think Ian kind of like looks to Jack and he does like a hand motion to get Jack's attention. Or maybe you see it out of the corner of your eye or something. And he does like a foot pattern with his fingers to you, and he puts a finger over his mouth and he starts to walk away from you, right? Like alongside you, like almost kind of perpendicular to you, but alongside you, right?
Okay.
As he's like walking behind furniture and stuff. It looks like he's like shadowing you almost, but in a way that if someone were to see you, he wouldn't be seen, right? Not immediately anyway. If you understand what I'm saying. Using hand sign.
Cannon fodder. Hide behind the tube.
Okay. So, Ian, go ahead. It's your turn.
Ian, what is this distance? It might be too much. Nope, that's fine. Like I said, that was my intended path. I'm going to walk diagonal to them, right?
Okay.
And start to just pull away, but not too far.
Okay. 1 moment. All right. You two can go ahead and go in tandem, the deputy and the sheriff. If you want. I think that was your plan, right?
All right. Yeah.
Okay. So you're basically walking along as you're walking in the darkness, you see all these plants next to you, and they're like just sitting there, and there's like tons of places where they could be like someone in there, and they're kind of spooky to you as you move by, but nothing jumps out.
Spooky.
All right, one second.
Today's already been a bad day for Barbara.
Yeah, go ahead, Jacob.
What kind of roll would it be to see if I hear anything closer to me?
Let me. I'm going to share some things with you. This might be helpful. I'm going to share this to you. So this is listening. Okay, your character can attempt to listen for a target. So basically, you need to roll a wits and composure roll.
Perfect. So I'd go to fighting, and it would be.
Click fighting. You're going to need to
and
your stat die, which would be your wits,
3.
which is 3, and then you would add your composure roll to steel yourself. I assume to like concentrate. I assume that's what they mean by composure.
And then miscellaneous is just nothing, probably. For this.
Nothing, correct? Mm-hmm.
Oh wait, it says that he can substitute a survival,
Which
if
I
he
don't
wants.
think would be higher, but it might. Let me look.
Do you have any specialties that apply to survival?
It'd only be 2. My wits and composure, I have 3 in each. So.
But do you have any specialties that?
It would still be.
No. Yeah, no.
It would still be the same or lower, but that's fine.
Okay. I was just saying because it's.
And then defense armor just 0 as well.
Yeah. That's just for fighting specific.
Right.
All right. So you have 3 successes. So you do hear some noise, and there's some noise coming from the front of the front of the building, and you hear something maybe over by the jacuzzi, which is to be to your right back kind of thing.
Like kind of outside my room.
Yeah, it would be outside. It would be not that way. It would be over this way somewhere. But you have to go to the main hall and then around to get to it, or on the balcony you could get to it too.
But I know this. I don't want to walk through that snow. So yeah, okay. I'll just continue to move my 2 steps.
Okay.
Out in the hall, and that's my turn.
Okay. All right, 1 second. All right, go ahead, Sheriff. You got a delay again?
Yes.
Okay. 1 moment.
Sorry, I'm slowing you down, Rob.
You're not really.
You're not actually even slowing him down.
Okay, go ahead.
I already made my move.
Yep, cool.
I continued the diagonal path.
Yep.
They're going to outpace me, but I want to be behind them anyway. So
that's fine. You guys can let me do one thing. Okay, go ahead and go together. Okay, back to the top. Sheriff, Delane, or Barbara moved down with him. I would assume you're moving down with him. And so all these, just so you know, all these, like you can see through these doors because they're technically hallways, right? They're not actually doors. These are mostly in this middle part, at least, are rooms, right? Just open parts of the hallway that are interconnected. They're not shut. There's no doors that shut. That's why you can see through them. Just so it's understood. So Sheriff.
Rinse and repeat.
Okay. Okay. Go ahead, Ian. I think you're next.
From the house, would I know? Because I don't want to walk somewhere where I can't get around, right? So, are there multiple entrances or exits to the atrium that would lead me around the house this way? This way.
You can go out the front door to the balcony if you wanted. Okay, so you can go kind of where kind of the sheriff and Barb were going. There's a doorway to the hallway. It's right basically kind of to the left of where the sheriff is now. You can, whatever. And then there is stairs. There's a balcony that overlooks the atrium on the other side, but it's basically doesn't go anywhere as far as you could tell.
Yeah, I'll stick where I'm at for right now. I'll go down and stay continuing this path like I'm like creeping alongside them pretty fastly in this shrubbery.
Okay. One moment. All right, go ahead. You guys are moving together, right? So which way are you going? Yeah, that doesn't really go anywhere. You could probably see that from there. There's no
Oh, that goes up the atrium. I don't know what you guys are doing.
Yeah. That doesn't go anywhere. You would know that.
I thought that was the way it looked, or would be realistically in my head, right? Like, because it would be the same on either side.
Well, Jack is still trying to go in the direction that he thinks Jacob was in, since Jacob knows his way around this place.
I thought Tet said it was in. I don't know if you guys can see my ruler.
Yeah, Jacob would be like this way, right? That's
okay.
So you can fiddle with where you were, right? You were here, yeah. So you're about there, so you can go through this way.
Go that way.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Sorry if I wasn't clear explaining it. Okay, so as you come out, obviously you see Jacob's flashlight shining everywhere. Okay. So, as Jacob's flashlight's shining extremely bright, you hear this and an explosion.
Oh, God, no.
All right, hold on. So, give me 2 seconds here.
Give me 3 steps.
I still don't.
3 steps, mister.
Still don't see Jacob's flashlight.
Oh, you don't?
Well, he doesn't know how to fully. It takes some finagling to understand dynamic lighting. So I don't see anybody's lighting, right?
Oh, really?
And that's the way it's supposed to be. Yeah.
Do you see his aura
I don't
now?
see any character other than Ian.
Oh, no, that's weird, because when you get close, I can see you. I can see Bart.
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I can't see your light circles, which is the way it should be, realistically.
Yeah, but I was trying to do his aura, right? I figured that would show it.
You wouldn't want to do an aura, right? You want to do a cone of light, but I'll have to sit down and show you.
Even if you were 30 feet away, if you were within line of sight, you'd be able to see me, right? Like,
oh yes, you have a light. Like right. They know if anybody's in here, they know exactly where you are.
Yeah, and that was
right.
my that was what I was trying to do.
But they
right?
can't see my light, and they're only like a foot away. They're like,
something's wrong.
Well, it's just that how it was made, right? And it's just a mistake. Like,
okay.
At some point, I'll sit down with you and like finagle, teach you how to do dynamic light. I do the same thing for Bo. I mean, not Bo, but God, Jaminus.
Okay. Yeah, so you see Jacob there right in front of you, right?
So
yep, he would be right. You can just like here. So now you can. That's where he is, right? So he's right across the hallway. But as you walk in, basically you hear this and an explosion. So bear with me. Hold on.
You gotta enter in all the modifiers.
Shit, that was not what I was trying to roll, obviously.
Are you trying to roll 4d10?
I'm not trying to roll that at all. Hold on. Sorry.
Somebody just got fucking annihilated.
So actually, okay. So 1 second. So Jacob's standing there, and there's some explosion to his left, from his left, and he feels a wincing pain in his left arm as something hits it, and it feels like you've been hit by somebody who punches as hard as you've ever felt. But you kind of look down and with your flashlight, and you see just a droplet of blood coming through your shirt, your pajamas. But it's not, it's painful, clearly, but you still have full use of your arm. So you took 1 lethal damage from a shotgun blast.
I assume we saw the shotgun blast.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Oh, it would have been like fucking like a candle in the night, right? Like.
Yep. And so, yep.
Dragon's breath.
So I just put 1 lethal under
I already did it for you.
Okay.
And the sheriff's up. It came from
Okay.
there. It came from this area.
I never went.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Yep, go ahead. You're right.
I didn't go either. I just took my turn, so.
Oh, I thought you moved.
I'm about to.
So something just shot me from over here.
This way. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Can I toss my light in there, and then will I be able to see it if I do that?
That's a good. Yeah, you can. That would be your action to throw that in there.
Yeah, but okay, yeah, that's fine.
I would move and hide, at least move into the hole, into your room or something.
You could throw.
I'm gonna move for sure.
Go ahead. You just do what you do.
Yeah, he's gonna throw the light in there and then move over here, hoping that you guys, because I saw the sheriff and Barbara, so they're police officers. Hopefully, they can stop whoever's in there. Now they can see him.
All right, so hold on. I'm going to do something with the map to open this up. If I can remember how to do it. How would I reveal an area? Just.
That would mean that you would have to have areas in Fog of War.
Okay, which I don't.
What you could do is you could just make a torch visible to everyone, and put it in the middle of the room at a light source.
Torch. How would I do that?
Go to the images, select a torch or type torch. Do that just like a token. You would put it, except you would click visible to everyone, and you would give it a light radius.
Okay, I see. Hold on. Hold on. I don't know.
But do you?
Maybe I don't actually. Well, I select it and I can't. Doesn't have any.
It should go to advanced token options. Every token should have everything that has a little bubble thing.
Oh, I was in the
emit
wrong
light.
layer. Sorry. Okay. Emit light. Let's just do. Well.
I would do something like a 10-10 and put it in the room he's in, just to make it simple.
Mm-hmm. See it?
Part of it.
Yeah, where you're blocked by line of sight, probably for partial part of it.
Oh, then I guess before I move, can I tell? No.
Oh shit.
I don't have light anymore either. But I'm not supposed to. I mean, but can I tell if I can see who that is, or if it's just a random person?
You basically just see in the hallway a guy basically looks like maybe wearing a raincoat, looks like, and he's got a shotgun in his hand, and over his face you see he has these bulky night vision goggles.
So Jacob just screams, "This asshole just shot me," and then hides behind this. Or that asshole just shot me and hides behind the door here.
Okay. All right.
And holds his rifle. Yeah.
Yep. 1 second. Okay, go ahead. Sheriff?
Apparently, John has some enemies.
Okay, and the shotgun blast came from Ian's left?
You mean Jacobs?
I mean, yeah, sorry.
Yeah, so it'd be
Out,
this away.
okay. Well, then Jack is going to move on and pointing the Glock at this fellow.
Yeah, so you're right in the doorway, right in front of him. You're actually engaged. So that's fine, but if you can do that.
And got the pistol leveled at the guy. Garfield County Sheriff's Office. Drop the weapon. Put your hands on your head.
He just shot someone. Fucking waste his asshole.
He does not respond. He just turns and kind of starts to aim the shotgun at you, obviously.
Jack shoots.
Okay, so he's going to get defense because you guys are engaged. So go ahead and roll your... so you have a pistol, right? So it doesn't have like an auto fire or anything like that, so it should be pretty easy. Just do your firearms plus your dexterity, and then he's going to get his defense versus and his armor. I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what
fighting thing. If you click the fighting thing, you should be able to enter your firearm or your dexterity and firearms, and then you'd enter in the. If you have a specialty with the weapon, you would enter that in the MISC, and then there's a defense thing that comes after that. So.
Yep, got skill specialty handguns.
Yep, so that'll give you an extra one.
And also favored weapon.
Ooh. Well, so that's 2 dice. That might negate his defense, which is good.
So then for his defense armor, add 3 total.
So you just put the 3 in the defense.
Now, what's the damage of the weapon? You're going to have to add that too, right, to your dice pool.
Ooh.
And if you need to cancel and redo it, then that's fine too. That maybe that's something in the macro that we need to fix.
Okay,
right?
So all right, let's take this from the top. Stat dice 2. Skill dice 3.
That's 5. The damage of the weapon is what is the pistol? It's a Glock.
Yep.
It should say in there.
The damage is 2. I'm looking at it right now. It says damage 2, range 20, 40, 80, clip size 17 plus 1, strength 2.
Okay, so it's 9 now.
Plus all your
it's 7
fancy
now.
stuff.
It's 7, and then with his 2 dice from favored weapon and his specialty, it should be 9. So in the so your formula would be 2 plus 3, and then plus 4.
So 4 in the MISC box.
Yeah, 4 in the MISC box, and then after that, you're gonna put in. It should ask you for the defense.
Right.
When it asks you for the defense, you type in 3. If I'm correct. 10.
Yeah, that's his defense plus armor. Four, and roll another d10.
Yes, roll another d10. I think these pistols, are they 9 again?
No, mostly they're not. So 4. I'll get these on. So basically, as you're going to shoot him, he brings up his shotgun at the last moment and it kind of hits your arm, and you shoot him in his shoulder as well, and he kind of like staggers from the blow. And obviously everybody in the house can hear pow, 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 you know.
Dagoon, dagoon.
Yeah.
Pow, pow. Everyone's got fucking ear shock in here. So there is no waiting anymore. So I'm gonna move, like, shove past Barbara at this point.
That's fine.
So that's one move. I can't see anything. So I can see this guy around the corner, right?
Well, I mean, you can't exactly see him, but you see the sheriff shooting in that area. I mean,
yeah. I mean,
it's clear something's
Ian's
going
to.
You would probably, if you tried to stab him or something from here, it would be extreme cover. You'd have to, like, reach around the doorway. And,
No. I was gonna charge, but I don't realistically, like, because I heard the shotgun shooting. So I mean, I want to be able to run around a corner, right? But I don't know how much I could get away with. Charge, I can move double my moves or double my speed. So I could get into his square, right? I could get right there.
Yeah,
Right
you
there.
could. I would allow it.
Yeah, I mean, Ian's just gonna, like, come at this guy, and he's got, like, this knife in his hands, and he just, like, charges the guy.
So okay, so you lose your defense.
That is more than fine.
Yeah. Okay. All right, so go
Well,
ahead.
he's also going to not have his full effect dice because he's fighting two people now.
Where are the rules for that? Just so, because I don't want to flank and rear attacks. That's not it.
Well, I mean, he's let's see, combat summary, unarmed, close. Let's see, offhand attack, firing from concealment, drawing a weapon. I know I've seen that rule set somewhere. It doesn't really matter, but I mean, he is fighting two people realistically, so you do what you want with it. I know there's rules for it.
Can you just search multiple, like multiple opponents or something like that? Let's see if we can find it. I've got my hardcover out since I'm recording stuff. Flanking attack, I mean, flanking attack makes sense, but
I mean, I'm pretty sure there are rules for it, like 100%. But if all I get is flank, then I don't care. I just want to not clog up combat.
yeah, just give me 2 seconds here. It's okay. Let's use some part of this. So he won't get defense if he doesn't pass this roll, right? It's not exactly the same thing, but where'd he go? Okay, so he needs to do a wits and composure roll. It's technically for him to yeah, it's typically for him to notice somebody attacking him from behind, right? But for now, that's good enough, I think. All right, so give me wits and composure. So his wits are what? Let's pull that. Bear with me. Nah. All right, so he gets his defense to go ahead and attack.
Could do more damage if I just punch this guy in the face.
That's fine too. Go ahead.
Yeah. And with this, I'm gonna do like lethal damage. So I'm just gonna spend the willpower to do it right now.
Okay,
Or
that's fine.
it's not spending willpower in the sense that you spend willpower in the scene. I'm just devoting willpower to it.
Understood. You don't get your 3 extra dice. You just do lethal damage.
No, yeah. I don't get for spending. Yeah, you said it correctly. Strength, brawling, and Misk is going to.
I updated your willpower totals. Yeah, remember, guys,
okay.
if you spend willpower, you get 3 extra dice on a roll.
Well, this doesn't count as spending.
I know. I'm just telling everybody else. So.
And defense and armor is going to be 3.
You probably roll those 10s again.
It rolls it automatically, I think.
No,
it doesn't.
It shouldn't it? 3 plus 3. 1, 2, 3. What was the 1 on there?
Specialty.
Okay, then it didn't. Yeah, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
There's another one.
Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 minus 3. You rolled 5. No, it didn't. Okay. So roll another one. So that's 4. Yep.
So that's
5
5
successes.
successes. That means that is. We looked at unarmed damage before. It was pretty underwhelming.
But you're doing lethal now, right?
Yeah, I'm doing lethal. So it's whatever 5 successes on unarmed damage would give me.
Yeah, I mean, I think
which might be 5 lethal.
It should. I think that skill just converts them, right?
Yeah, I think it's straight up just 5 lethal.
Okay, so you come into the in front of Jack after he shoots him, and you just start pummeling him. Yeah, you punch him in the face, and you like smash, and your hand hurts as you smash through the goggles, and you hit him again, and the goggles go flying off his head, and he drops his shotgun, and then you just beat him repeatedly until he essentially stops moving. So if you want to expound on that, go for it.
Yeah, so Jack, like as you fire, you feel like this wind go from underneath you, and you see like the first hit like hit the guy, and you see like just the outline of his goggles, right, and like the flash haze, right, or the muzzle flash, right, and maybe he lets off like a shotgun blast into the door and sprays some shrapnel as that happens, and like Ian just kind of like like picks him up from his waist after he hits him, and he stumbles back and like slams him down on the ground and just starts like straddling and beating the shit out of this guy's face.
Yeah, you beat him into a bloody pulp. All right, deputy.
I'm going to do essentially the only thing I can do. I'm going to move 1 square.
Yeah, so you see Ian beat the shit out of this guy.
No,
Yeah.
I don't see shit. I see Jack, and that's it.
Well,
I mean, you
see basically in the doorway him over top of somebody swinging. You don't exactly see what's happening, but what does Jack do as he reacts to this?
Jack's still covering the guy with the pistol until he sees him sort of stop moving.
Yeah, and he does after a few seconds of pummeling. Jacob, you're up. You get your rifle.
Yeah, he if nobody said it's all clear, he's I guess he'd look. Yeah, so he looks. He comes around 1 and then I guess sees.
Well, as soon as Jacob is sort of on the scene again, Jack would, "Are you okay, son?"
It's like, no, I just got shot.
So you're coming back. You're coming back out of the room.
Yeah, he peeked out first and then saw that the dude was. But when he comes out, he's looking the opposite direction down the hallway. Kind of. I guess I'd like to do another. He wants to listen again for more people.
Okay, that can be your turn.
So that was just 6.
So you hear something. Well, obviously you hear what's going on behind you, and you hear something kind of in front of you too. And as you do, out steps right in front of you, which is some sort of woman with black hair, looks Asian, that you can see like right in front of you. And right in front of you, you see this shimmer. And she has this sword in her hands, and she tries to impale you with it.
Holy shit!
Okay.
Yeah, because your action was listening, right? You moved out and
Right,
listened.
but I was definitely gonna move back into the room.
Yeah, you can't move, action, move.
Oh, I didn't know
It
that.
has to be move and action.
Yeah.
It's like most settings. So what?
I guess
You still get your
That's fine.
defense. You still get your
Yeah,
defense.
I'm
So
good.
Okay.
yeah, like fucking, we can't let
Little did
Jacob
you know,
die.
Rocky's
He's like
not in expeditions.
he's like our
Sorry.
fucking red herring. He can't die. He's our pretty boy. Like he's the innocence. By the way, there's an innocence game for New World Darkness, and you play a bunch of kids, and I really want to play that one day.
All right, so this dice pool is 12. What's your defense?
I think it's just the regular clothing.
Well, you have defense too, which is
I
the
think
lowest
5.
the lowest of your wits and dexterity.
Unless you have something that denotes that you get something else.
Yeah.
The lowest of wits or it's 3. Yeah.
Okay.
I would burn a
3.
willpower. Or
Yeah,
use
that's
willpower.
what I was
use
gonna
a
wait
willpower.
until she hits. That's I have to, so I can do it after the attack, or do I have to wait?
It's usually on your roll. Let me look at the different things you can use for willpower. Right. So there's
Let's see. Yeah, let me.
So if you look at the willpower rolls at the bottom, there's handouts for them.
Resistance is the thing that might be useful
Yeah,
here.
probably. So let's look. All right, resistance.
Willpower point to gain a further 2 points of protection against a single attack.
Yep, so you can do that. So you can spend willpower to bump your defense by 2. So that give you 6 total. All right.
Right. Yeah, because my wits is 3 and dexterity is 3, so those are the same. So.
Yep. So you get 3 plus your armor, which is 1 because clothing.
Right.
And then 2 more. Right. So 6. Ready?
Yep.
Now, does this bitch have like a katana Kill Bill style?
It is a katana Kill Bill style, yes. So she basically swings, and Jacob like somehow throws himself out of the way, and his other shoulder is cut, just barely. And she also has night vision goggles on as well, just so you know. So he kind of throws himself out of the way and avoids being killed brutally.
So do we hear this, or is he? Because I can't see in that room. Is he in that room with them?
No, man.
I can't even.
Jacob's literally outside the door, right next to you.
Yeah, you can't. You just see a kerfuffle. You don't know what's going on over there. Jack can see Jacob dodge to the side. Ian is too busy pounding in face. And Jacob can speak too. So go ahead. What does Jacob say as he's attacked again?
I don't. So I want to say something sarcastic, but I don't know how sarcastic Jacob would be in this moment. So.
I would be freaked the fuck out.
Yeah, he's just gonna be like, "Holy shit, a sword!" Like, God damn it, another one. He's just screaming.
What the fuck? This bitch has a fucking sword.
What the fuck, a sword? And that's it.
I think "what the fuck" might be the quote of the moment.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Like, I hate to be that like cut and dry with like the humor here, but like, what the fuck is appropriate? Seriously.
No, that's exactly what I was trying to think.
Well,
like,
Jacob says "what the fuck." Jack looks around. "What the fuck?" I mean, everybody here could Conceivably.
Okay, so right, so if it was D&D, I'd be like, okay, there's a sword chick, but like it's not. I don't fucking.
Yeah.
I've never seen someone with a sword.
This is
let
the
alone,
90s.
let alone some bitch attack me.
Well,
with
like I said, who'd you people pissed off? You got ninjas in the air vents.
fucking rednecks with shotguns, ninjas with fucking katanas. I paid 3. I have 3 points for this.
You just thought it was going to be a nice dinner.
No, I'm over here trying to get fed, maybe get told a little bit
literally can't breathe.
maybe he knows about it that we don't. Nope, I'm just gonna get assassinated.
All right, Sheriff, you're up.
Alright, my rant's over, I'm ready.
Holy shit. I'm literally
Damn.
crying.
I hate being the last person.
Oh, fucking God.
Well, Ian can't even get there this time. I don't think. So, but anyway, go ahead. Because you have to stand up too. That's part of it.
Yeah, I have to stand up.
Anyway, go ahead, Sheriff.
Can you shoot through
Okay.
people's tokens?
I would give him partial cover.
Yes, that's how that combat actually works. That he would get partial cover, and if you fail, you might end up shooting Jacob.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, yeah, do it. No, I want to see how this plays out.
Well, Sheriff's
So
up first, so.
Jack will move 2. I think we're beyond the whole halt
Yeah.
weapon thing here.
That stopped when there were shotguns fired, but when bitches bring out katanas, well, that's a whole.
This is also you're also defending a life after they've been attacked by somebody. You've
Right.
got full authorization.
Okay. What's Jack's willpower?
Yeah, you should have. There should be a willpower portion of your somewhere in there. I'm looking at the wrong sheet.
Oh,
but-
in traits, he's got willpower 5.
yeah, that's probably your total willpower. I'm sure.
Right.
So and there
That
should
is
be
your total willpower.
yeah, and it should say willpower lost, and I would just bump it up to 1 if you use it, right?
Okay.
So you're gonna use it, I assume.
Yeah, seems reasonable in this
Yeah.
instance.
So you'll roll 3 extra die.
Okay, so stat is 2.
So it's going to be the same
3.
number pool, I assume. She doesn't have like chainmail on or some shit, right?
She has her dexterity is better, right? So she has a total of 4, and she's going to spend a willpower to get 6. So you'll be going against 6.
So you would have 12 dice total for you. So and it'd be 2 plus 3,
3 plus 7.
plus
minus
7
6.
minus 6. Do not fail.
Just plant one in my head and just get it over with.
Get it over with.
Nah, you're not in jeopardy in this roll. He's in a spot where he couldn't hit you real easy.
Well, hang on. In the resistance here, remember that defense and therefore willpower does not usually apply to attacks from firearms or bows.
Yeah, but the problem is you're right next to him. So if you shoot a firearm when you're adjacent to someone, they get their defense.
That's the only time that you get
Yep.
defense in.
Okay.
Now, if you would have stayed back and gotten the partial cover thing, then yes, I would have. I'm in the boat for this one. Ooh.
So
That's effective.
you shoot and you wing her in the darkness. It's confusing, dark. She has a sword. Barb, if you shoot from there, just to let you know. Oh, I'm sorry, it's Ian's turn anyway, but go ahead.
I can't even see him. I literally
There's a
couldn't see him.
shotgun
I'd be
Yeah.
next to
shooting
me,
at
isn't there?
There is. You can pick up a shotgun. That would be your action.
I will pick up the shotgun.
Okay.
Tell me it has a little tack light on it.
It doesn't.
Is there still screaming coming from upstairs?
No. Every once in a while you hear something, but...
Fuck. Do I save the pretty lady or do I save the moody blonde?
Yeah, the stairs are right to your right to go upstairs, by the way. That's stairs upstairs.
I mean, I don't know. I think Ian's the kind of guy who would go upstairs, right? But there's a pressing situation. I don't want to... If you don't have an upstairs thing, Tet, then I won't go upstairs, but...
You can go upstairs if you want to.
Fuck. This is a tough one. Can you go to Barbara while I think?
Sure, that's fine. Barbara, go ahead.
All right, you're saying that I can shoot from here, but there's some sort of disadvantage.
Well, if
you
cannot see them, then you have as much choice. You could hit any person. You could hit the sheriff or Jacob or the attacker. Yep.
Now, positioning myself here, are they going to get any kind of cover?
They just get their defense. No cover, though.
All right. I'm going to do my best to put this bitch in the dirt.
She uses a willpower to increase her defense by 2, so you'll be rolling against the 6.
Okay. So my stat dice is my dexterity, right?
Yes.
Skill dice be... Hold on, where the hell's my firearms? Firearms is 2. My miscellaneous would be
1 point from
specialization. Yeah.
You're rolling with a grand total of 1 die.
Yeah, are you serious?
Yep, 1 die. You have 7 dice.
Bullshit. Okay. And their defenses again?
Total of 6.
If I do this, am I going to hurt either Ian or
No,
Sheriff?
no, it's not a... You have a die to roll, so you're fine. You can't hit them. And so even if you have no die in your die pool, you can roll 1 die. And then if you roll a 1, something really bad happens. But you shoot, and she kind of parries your hand away with her offhand, and you miss, and the bullet goes into the wall. Ian, what are you going to do?
Do you guys want my help? This is a story question.
I don't think there's any room for you in here anyways.
Yeah, you hear Ian kind of rack back the shotgun, and you hear him kind of scream over his shoulder, "I'm going to get Miss Albridge."
No,
and he troms up the stairs.
Hold on.
We can handle this afterwards if you want.
Just happened.
Are you dragging me to a different map?
I was trying to.
Go down to where my name is on the map, and hit the blue button at the top. Drag my name up to that map, like where the 3 lines are at the bottom. Drag it all the way up to the top and into that map.
I just want to make sure your token is... No, hold on. Just wait. Sorry. Where's your token at? Copy?
That's by the stairs.
Yeah, I got it. Alright, I copied the token.
God, I love this fucking game. Like, you have no idea.
I grabbed the stairs, damn it. Damn it, why'd you have to go underneath the stairs? Hold on.
Well, I went atop of the stairs. I didn't just, like, Spider-Man underneath the stairs. Who do you think Ian is? Fucking... new age white boy Spider-Man.
Isn't Spider-Man a white boy?
Yeah, but that would be wrong in comparison to SJW comics.
All right.
There's a Spider-Girl.
All right. So you went upstairs. So you're at the top of the landing. It's dark, like down below. All right. So we're at Jacob's turn.
All right. I can like disengage. I guess if I walk away, she can't do anything right now. Right?
That's correct. There's no attacks of opportunity.
Right. I didn't think so. Right. Okay.
It's like Azov. There aren't any attacks of opportunity unless you have specific things like a slasher might.
Yeah.
So
There's.
If I stand here,
Mhm.
behind Barbara, I have line of sight to just shoot my rifle at him.
If you move that, can you see her? Can you see the token?
Yeah. I can
Um,
see the edge of it.
so I would let you. Yeah, you can shoot. You can go edge to edge. Yeah, you could shoot her without any cover.
If not, I could go right here, and it's a lot.
Yeah, no, you can go either spot you want. You could shoot.
Okay, and then he'll shoot. So.
Can you shoot a pistol with one hand in this game and not suffer any negatives?
Yeah.
Yes.
So she's going to use willpower again.
God damn, this bitch has a lot of willpower.
So it would be my dex plus firearms.
Plus damage and plus specialties. So, but you have like a hunting rifle. That's 4, right? 4 damage.
Right.
Hunting rifle's 4 on a 9 again. So it would be in the misc session. You would have 5 if you have a specialty.
I don't believe he does. And hunting rifle is not.
I have a specialty in my rifle.
Is it not? Or is it the upgraded one that's
It must be the upgraded one, and shotguns do. It's the only.
Then the defense modifier, or did I say?
Yeah, she has 6.
Well, actually, she doesn't get her defense to range.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's right. Let's go ahead and roll again.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and roll again. So she would have instead of 6, she would actually have a 3. So go ahead and roll 2d10.
I don't know.
Okay, so those are misses. So she takes 3 damage. So you shoot her, and it's the first time you've ever shot someone. So how does that make you feel? You shoot her in the you think the side.
Yeah. So he was super shaky. So normally he wouldn't have missed center mass at all. But
Right.
He really didn't want to shoot at a person, so he didn't get a solid shot off.
Right. You can move
And
him
as
there
soon
to
as
see.
As soon as it.
Yeah, I was doing that to see, but I didn't want to be in the action.
Yeah, no, you're not there.
He definitely he feels bad almost.
Okay.
Even though
So
he's killed.
it's her turn again, and she screams, and she kind of is like staggering, and she's like, "For the Holy Covenant!" and attacks the nearest person that has a gun, which is the sheriff. So here we go. She spends a willpower to attack.
Fucking take some dice, otherwise you're gonna die a horrible death. Well done.
Yeah, I guess the sheriff will spend one to resist.
Yep. Okay. So here we go. Let's see. Where's my? All right.
For the knights who say me.
Right. And so your defense, armor, and willpower.
Armor 1, defense 2.
So you're gonna have 5.
willpower.
Yeah, because you get 2 for when you spend a willpower.
Okay.
All right. Ready? So she comes and she slashes down across your arm, and you feel your elbow like pop as she almost cuts your arm in half. Now this is fluff, right? So it doesn't affect your shooting or anything, but you feel like sickened as the blade crosses your arms, and you're not quite into penalty yet, but you have 3 more. If you take one more lethal or one more any damage, you would be in a penalty of -1 to your attacks. Okay, so it's your turn, Sheriff.
All right. Jack steps back,
Fucking annihilate this bitch.
spins a willpower.
It should be noted you can only spend actively like that, I think, 1 per scene, right? Right? Am I crazy in that?
I don't know. You're talking about for offensive type of thing?
Mm-hmm. Well, no, and never mind. I stand corrected. It's offensively. If it's like narrative scenes, I think you can only spend it once, right? Is that what we did last time?
I don't know. I'd have to look. I think in combat you can spend as many as you want. We'll look after this. So you step back. She gets no defense. She will not use any willpower.
Taking this bitch's sword.
And so her defense is a 3?
No, she would subtract
no
1.
defense,
Yep, just 1 for armor.
Okay.
Reroll, roll 2d10.
I'm putting money on the table right now. These guys are the good guys trying to kill his crazy vampire aunt.
For the Holy Covenant is never good.
That's so true.
And so you aim and you shoot her center mash in the chest, and she falls backwards against the wall and slumps to the ground. Meanwhile,
Lord Ian Spire runs up the stairs with a giant fucking shotgun. No, I'm kidding.
And Jack lets out a string of expletives. Goddamn fucking arm, stupid, crazy.
all right.
So I would
So
have had 2 rounds up here by my
Yep.
calculation.
that's fine. So you go ahead and move wherever
Space.
you want to move,
Final frontier.
and I'll kind of describe it as you go. Just don't go too fast.
I don't think I've been up here before, so
No.
I think Ian is just making his way. He's like running very loudly, and he like stops in this right here. I think that's hold on. He stops here because that's his move speed, and he shouts very loudly, "Miss Albridge, it's Ian Grove. Where are you?"
And you don't hear anything. There's no response. What you do, you kind of look around and you kind of see it could be light coming from this direction or so. And as you're kind of going to turn, you see that there's like a rose petal, a trail of rose petal kind of going in that direction, kind of haphazardly strewn around.
Yeah, I mean, she will, or he will make his way down that direction, right? He's got the shotgun pointed down the hallway, and like, you know.
So you head in that direction, and you just see more you see it's a very small light. It's not a flashlight. It's probably like a candle or something, you would assume, something along those lines. And you kind of you're heading down the hallway, I assume, right?
Mm-hmm.
And as you get towards the doorway, you kind of peek inside, and you walk into Miranda's room, and you see this before you, right? So Let me explain to you. At first, this looks like a rather disheveled bedroom until it is clear as some sort of method to the madness. It is a large room with a huge bed and red tapestry hanging from the top. The bed has red sheets, totally unmade, and a white comforter. On the floor of the bed is a rug, a polar bear skin rug, which isn't so odd considering Jacob's uncle is an avid big game hunter who has even traveled to Africa to hunt lion. The rest of the room is less ordinary. Dominated the room is a large, partially broken mirror, and on the wall near it is several paintings of roses of different sizes, although they all look more or less the same. Strangely, there are rose petals that are strewn out below them, as well as beneath the mirror itself. In one corner, it appears to be empty, ornate picture frames, not unlike some used to store the paintings of the roses on the wall. The next room is dominated by red, with huge and thick red velvet curtains. The side tables next to the bed have several books piled high. And in the bed, you see Miranda, and she appears to be sleeping peacefully, not hearing anything, apparently.
Yeah, Ian just like runs into the room and like shuts the door. He doesn't shut the door. He goes over and like shakes Miranda up violently.
And she kind of like stirs and sits up, and she's wearing some like a nightie, I guess you could say, and she kind of like pulls the comforter kind of over her shoulders, and she's like, Mr. Grove, and she's like, seems very confused.
I'm covered in fucking blood, and there's like a shotgun in my hand pointing towards her door.
And she's like, what's going on? What's the meaning of this?
Miss Albridge, we need to get you out of the house right now.
And she's like, why?
We got attacked. The power went out. There's been something crazy going on. Listen, just follow me, okay? Everybody else is downstairs. I need to get back down there. Come on.
And she's like, okay. And she kind of throws herself off the bed and rushes up behind Ian and follows you.
Yeah, and Ian actually
that's when she hears Rob's gunshot.
I mean, there's been numerous gunshots. This chick is asleep, and she like Ian actually grabs like the not her hand, right? Because he needs to hold the shotgun. So what he does is he puts like a hand on like the nape of her neck beside him, and kind of like drapes his hand over her and puts her ducked underneath his arm. It's like a tactical hostage hold, right? And he's holding the shotgun in front of him, and his body is primarily in front, and he's gonna walk her downstairs. He is going to take very keen look around the room, though. Like, this shit's fucking weird, my dude.
Yep, that's what you see. In your rush, you aren't able to investigate it any further. And she doesn't really realize if you're like holding her hostage or whatever. She just is kind of moving along with you.
Oh no, I mean, I'm not being overly hostile to her. I'm trying to protect her, it would seem like, to an average person. Now,
that's fine.
The real me wants to fucking look around in this room, right? But like, Ian wouldn't do that. So yeah, he's gonna make his way back downstairs.
So you make your way back downstairs to the scene of the crime, so to speak. And as you get back, the sheriff and everyone else is kind of looking over two dead bodies. Whoops. Ignore that.
Barbara would have confiscated the katana just simply because she doesn't want to leave
any weapons sitting around. It's a crime scene. What are you doing? You're the cop.
I'm telling you that she was carrying the weapon, so she's going to make sure that she's not going to come back up and grab it.
She does not look like she's going to come up and grab anything.
Why would you grab her?
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, why would you grab anything? Like, it's a crime scene for all we know, right? I mean, Jacob just got fucking shot.
There's an unknown amount of hostiles wandering around here, so she's not going to leave any weapons sitting around.
Ian comes back down the stairs with Miss Albridge in tow, and how do I find you all? Do you just finish up your fight right now, or are we catching the end of it?
I think it was pretty much over already by the time you would have been down here. I think we were just.
What I'm saying is, have you just literally been standing there like nameless NPCs in a RPG? No.
Well, it's been. By the time you got up there and got back down, they would have
A couple
been
minutes.
dead for a couple minutes.
Yeah. So what have you guys been doing?
Barbara would be doing her best to tend to his injuries with what little she has available to her, because she doesn't have her first aid kit on her, obviously.
Well, the first thing we've got to do is secure the rest of this enormous freaking house. I mean, for all we know, there are still more hostiles.
Yeah. So you do you comment on that aloud, or?
I suppose. Well, there should be a first aid kit in the cop car, so we ought to get to that. Either in the car or on Barb's belt, we should have a radio, so we can, if the weather will permit, we get a helicopter from the hospital en route.
Yeah. So you, as you're going towards your car, you hear like a loud hum, and the lights flicker on as the generators kick in. And so the lights come on, and you don't see anything around you that would say there's anybody else there. But I mean, you and Barb sweep the rest of the house and don't find anyone.
Yeah, Barbara would have immediately tried to use her radio. I imagine the reason she didn't use it, or at least this is the way how I'm going to go with it, is the reason she didn't use it immediately in the first place was because it's a really heavy snowstorm. But, now that shit's calmed down and they're not trying to be quiet, she's trying to get a hold of the station.
Yeah, I'm doing my best in this time period to like staunch people's bleeding with just like minuscule medical checks just to keep them alive, right?
You mean the people that are down you're talking about? Or your people? Nobody appears to be. I mean, the sheriff's bleeding pretty good, and Jacob's actually not that wounded, honestly. But
our people first, then these two individuals.
Yeah, so
just to keep them alive, nothing major.
Yeah, you got to roll. So you patch up the sheriff. He's gonna be. I mean, he's got a severe injury to his arm, no doubt, but he's not gonna die from it. Jacob doesn't. I mean, he's honestly just nicked. From what you can tell, he has a pelt in his left arm and a small cut on his right arm. For being attacked twice, he's actually quite fortunate. So if you want to try to save the people that are down, you got to work, and you got to work hard. So I would say you can roll your medicine, right?
Okay.
Probably your wits medicine at a pretty big disadvantage.
Yeah, no.
Will Jacob be able to assist? Because he wouldn't want these people to die either. Like I said, he's definitely never.
Yeah, you can give him a die. You can give him a 1 die bonus.
So it would be wits.
Actually, you can only choose to save one of them. The other one's going to die.
Okay.
You're not going to have time to save both of them, or even attempt to.
I'm gonna save the chick, because I'm pretty sure Ian beat that guy to death, and the amount of time that passed, he's probably dead, like per full lethal damage, he dies in 8 minutes. So.
Well, and she's the one who yelled the crazy shit, so she seems like a logical one to talk to.
Well, are you sure about that? Because crazy people usually aren't the best witnesses.
But it was crazy shit.
It was crazy shit. Yeah, I'll try to save this chick. So.
Okay. So go ahead and roll your probably wits medicine, and you get a miscellaneous boost from Jacob. Minus. Let's see. I would say she's been down for at least 5 minutes, so -5.
So it's going to be 1 boost from my specialty, 1 boost from Jacob, -3. Or no, -5, right?
5. 5.
Need to roll those 2 10s again.
Shit.
This is like the one thing I'm good at outside of combat. Oh shit! Did I fuck that up? No.
No, you just failed at both of them. So you're able to stabilize her for the time being by doing CPR, but she has a bullet hole in her abdomen. So.
So basically, what I do a sucking chest wound fix. So basically, you see what Ian does is he tells Miss Albridge, who's probably freaking out at all the blood and dead bodies, go get me some tape, any kind of tape, and he takes some random bag that's nearby, rips it, puts it over the chest wound on either side, and tapes it down, and then starts giving this lady CPR.
So, and you are giving her CPR, and Jacob's assisting by probably maybe he's doing the mouth-to-mouth or something. And
yeah, or
whatever
works.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm assuming since I made the roll that I'm doing all the physical shit. He's just holding her down and
whatever. Right.
Applying pressure.
Yep. And so you're able to stabilize her, and Miranda's just holding her hands over his face, and she's like, "What is going on? They tried to rob us. I can't believe they tried to rob us. Thank God you were here." What else? What are the other people doing?
Yeah, I think while this is happening, can I get a word with you two? And Jacob, as you're working with Ian, he kind of looks up at you as he's between compressions and shit, and he looks at you and he says, "I need you to distract your aunt, really quietly, really quietly."
Yeah, it takes a pretty big gulp, I guess you could say, kind of. Clearly looks slightly terrified, and just you can tell he understands, and he asks his aunt if she's okay.
And she's like, "I'm fine. Are you okay?" And she's looking at your wounds, and she's like, "Oh, Jacob, I can't believe they did this." And she reaches out and hugs you.
When that happens, Ian looks up, hands Barbara the book and the note, and looks to her and the sheriff and say, "I think you two need to go upstairs and check the I think you two need to check the upstairs. I'll keep an eye down here." And he just kind of hands, as he's handing Barbara that stuff, right?
She just kind of
please check out Miss Barbara's room, or Miss.
All right, guys, let's take 5. I gotta get my dog out real quick.
Okay, we can still keep role playing, right?
Yeah, between each other. Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, he hands you that, right, and specifically you, Barbara, and he says, "You should check the upstairs. Looks like there was some commotion up there."
She just kind of nods. She's like, "I'll probably get a better signal up there anyways with the radio. Not getting anything down here."
"Jack, you should go too." And he kind of continues looking over this chick, and he puts the shotgun right next to her temple, and is like, "Yeah, no, she don't worry, she's not going anywhere."
She even kind of hands him the sword, and she's just like, "Make sure she doesn't get a hold of this now that she's stabilized."
"I'll take it with you. I don't know what to fucking do with that." Do I look like some fucking ninja crazy bitch to you?
She's like, I've got 6 years of on how to shoot guns and do police stuff. Do I look like a ninja to you?
Yeah, and Ian, like as the sheriff runs off, or starts to walk by, he like grabbed your shoulder, obviously bloody handprint, and he's like, there's some crazy shit up there.
Well, the first thing Jack does is walk over to Miss Albridge and very politely asks if he can impose upon her to perhaps put on some coffee while we sort this out.
Holy shit. Well, it does normalize the situation, actually. That's a very cop move.
Right.
It's crazy.
Gives her something to do, takes her mind off of dead people in her house, and gets Jack a cup of coffee, which is all the way around.
Yeah, it's like telling somebody while somebody's giving birth to make up hot water. It doesn't actually do anything.
Right. Gives that person something to do.
I'm doing all this on like a massively broken hand. I should have got a fucking -1.5 from a hugely fucking swollen negative hand on a medicine check. I just broke my fucking hand on some dude's poor face.
Well,
Yeah, but he fucking
I really
shot.
wanted to. Since I'm ambidextrous, I should have been running around with a flashlight and a gun in one hand and the other.
You could, but I mean, the lighting rules are a little bit weird, right? And it'll get better with time.
Rob, why don't you repeat another test back? You're back, right, Ted?
I'm back now.
Okay, yeah. So you might want to repeat yourself, Rob, for what you said.
So yeah, Jack will walk over to Miss Albright, and, exchange some pleasantries and ask if he can impose upon her to perhaps put on some coffee while we sort things out here.
And she's like, of course. And she heads back into this area.
And that's an attempt to normalize the situation, even though there are dead people and shit, and they got attacked. And Jacob, I assume, is going with her.
Yeah, I guess that's his job.
Actually, no. Take Jacob, you go up there as well. I'll walk around with Miss Albridge, just so she's not alone. I actually want all the characters to see it, right? To see that room. And as I'm going,
just
Ted.
leave the ninja girl by herself.
Oh, I mean, I'm gonna make sure she's in eyesight of me at all times for every room that I go in, right? Like, if I'm right here, I can see her body. Ted, as we move around, can I shut blinds and shut doors and shutters and shit?
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Mark how they got in or something.
Yeah.
Anyway, you three get to go upstairs. Go upstairs.
All right, so you guys head upstairs, and as you get upstairs, the lights are on now, obviously. And you follow these rose petals into this room. Jacob's never actually been here before. Oddly enough, he just finds it strange, but
Barbara's just like, what the fuck?
Yeah, Ian very clearly said to the sheriff, "There's some weird shit up there, my dude." That's basically what he said.
So can I don't think so we're in the room now.
Yep, you walk to the room.
I would probably just assist them with if they're going to do any kind of he would wait to see if they're starting to look around, and he would kind of help them out with any kind of investigation, since they're the
Yeah, well, there's something I want to ask you, Jacob. How do you feel about this going on inside your relative's house? Especially if they start to snoop around,
Well,
yeah.
So at this point, as I don't know if you could tell, but he's not very trusting of her at the moment. He's weirded out by the way she was talking earlier.
And one thing to note, like, right, so Jacob's been in their bedroom, and this is not it. It is down the hallway.
Exactly.
This is a different room.
This whole thing is new, also. So, like, he's really not worried about. Like, he's actually probably more curious than they are, because he knew.
That's. I just wanted to know, like, your general feelings on it.
Yeah, no. Honestly. So if it would have been like, if the evening would have been different, right, and he wouldn't have been weirded out, then yeah, he might be like, let's not like snoop around in their shit. But everything that's happened, he doesn't know if he even trusts her, especially with his uncle gone. You know, that's the one he really had a relationship with, and he's not. It's you know, it's not odd that he was gone, but you know,
convenient.
Everything. Yeah, exactly. Everything combined, all the circumstances. You know, he's not.
Anyway, snoop around my snoopers.
Oh, I was gonna say, Barbara's gonna look at the pile of books. You know, just not ruling anything out.
Don't forget, use your deduction skills if I can intervene.
Oh yeah,
right. Jack will
use
investigate.
your deduction skills. You have that book. You also have the note. Maybe possible pictures. I don't know. Whatever.
I don't know if this would be considered a crime scene, but I could use my crime scene and get investigation skills.
I would be okay to allow
it
that.
Looks like a crime scene.
It is a fucking crime scene.
Well,
this whole house is a crime scene.
Technically speaking, this whole house is a crime scene at the moment.
I would be okay with you using it. Go ahead and everybody
yeah,
can
like
roll.
I said, well, you want me to roll individually, or I really would have. I mean,
yeah, you can just assist. That's what you can give one die.
Right.
Is it intelligence investigation?
Yeah, be fine.
Yep. That's
so my intelligence investigation, and I'm going to guess investigation and crime scene. So that'd be 3 from investigation, 4 from knowledge or intelligence, and 1 from
special.
Yes.
And then 1 from whoever's helping you.
Jacob. And then I guess Rob is going to do his own roll, right, for the sheriff?
Yep. I need to look at using rote actions for the sheriff, but we'll do that some other time.
So that is 1, 2, 3, 4. What's it? That's 6 successes. So, what part of the room do you want to look at? You can use 1 roll on 1 part of the room.
I'll use one of my successes on the books.
No, well, for the entire roll, right? So.
Yeah.
Okay. So.
Okay.
Yeah. So you get to pick one thing in the entire room.
Oh, okay.
So you tell me what you want to do. If it's the books, that's fine.
Yeah, it's the books because it seems prudent with
because
all
of
the
the
crazy
book.
shit that's been going on. Yeah, the book, and Ian was very specific.
So you head over to the books, and there's like a half dozen of them or so. They're all thicker books with old leather bound, old leather bindings and whatnot. You can reroll that 10, by the way. And so you look at them, and you're expecting maybe you're like, is it going to be blank? And none of them are blank. Okay. They are. One you look at, and you look at the front, and it's not English, okay? You are pretty sure it's French. You look at the next book. It's in some other different language. You think it's either in Chinese or Japanese, and so on, right? There's different books, and they're all 6 appear to be different languages. None of them are in English and Spanish, which would be what you would obviously be able to look at easily. It looks like there's at least one in something maybe Latin, one maybe in some sort of Arabic, and so on. So, and with that roll, you're able to deduce. You're able to deduce what they are. So,
bunch of man children.
So we're gonna say one's Latin, One's Arabic, one is Japanese, and what else did I say it possibly was? Latin, Arabic, Japanese, we'll say German, French,
Ooh, yeah.
and the other one is a language that you're not sure what it is.
Cthulhu speak.
You go insane.
You know, while the sheriff is looking at something else, she's just gonna kind of quickly grab the Cthulhu speaking looking one and just kind of slip it in underneath the current book they have.
Okay, so you take the book. All right, Sheriff, you have 3 successes. What part of the room do you want to look at?
I think Jack is investigating the trail of rose petals.
The mirror. The fucking mirror.
So the rose petals, as you start looking at them, they obviously are originating, looks like, from underneath the paintings, right? The paintings are all slightly different paintings of roses, a single rose on each one. The paintings are in different sizes, different orientations, but they're generally very similar. All the rose petals beneath the paintings are fresh. They aren't wilted, they aren't old, they aren't dead. They're all red. They seem like they've been taken off of a normal, rose. There are rose petals throughout the room, on the bed, on the couch, on the floor around the room, beside the mirror, and lead out into the hallway towards the stairs up. And that's all you can really tell them. Okay.
Lead to the stairs up. Okay.
Jacob,
Or
your mom was trying to seduce me.
the stairs down is what I meant. The stairs down to where you guys came from, right? So, what other parts of the room do you want to investigate? You can roll again. We'll give you one more roll each.
Just one single roll or one complete roll?
Well, when I say roll, I mean all your dice pool. Same dice pool. Your 9d10.
It's a lot of dice.
Oh, I get to reroll that?
Reroll 1 for...
Oh, that's what I meant.
Mm-hmm. So you have 2 successes. What do you want to look at?
I'm going to look at the mirror this time.
So you head to the mirror, and clearly it's broken. It looks like it is displayed here. There are shards of it on the ground. None off the base of the mirror, however. And it is emitting light. It seems to. It could be the light from outside on the snow passing through it. And you can't really discern much out of it other than that. And you do notice that there is a candle on the back of the base of the mirror, which also probably is emitting the light, and that's probably the light that Ian saw earlier. Jack, what do you want to look at?
You said the bed was completely unmade. Jack wants to go look at the bed and see if
Vampire semen.
Wants to see if it looks like it was unmade by just the lady sleeping in it, or if it looks like she may have had company.
Okay. So you walk over to the bed and you start to look at it. It's hard to say if multiple people were sleeping in there. However, the configuration of how the pillows lay, on one side of the bed, there's a pillow where a head would be, and the second pillow, there's only 2 pillows in the bed, where it looks like it's actually turned vertical along the bed towards kind of the middle, right? Which is something someone might do if they throw their leg over it as like a body pillow.
Right. Okay, so presumably she didn't know there was a vampire in bed with her then.
She is a vampire, dude.
So, at this point,
Or a very rambunctious hunter.
So, at this point, there doesn't appear to be anything else here of interest, at least. You go through the drawers, and it's just clothes and whatnot. Find some sexy lingerie in there. Jacob sniffs panties.
I'm gonna try.
No, I'm just kidding.
Whoa.
While we're up at here, because one of the reasons why I did come up here was to see if it gave me a better radio signal. I'm going to try and reach the station again.
So as you try the radio, it's just nothing's coming through. Nothing is coming through. Just static from the storm, probably. Plus, you're pretty far away.
Yeah, it's worth a shot.
So you head back downstairs.
Yeah, Jacob does.
Yep.
All right, so you head back down, and there's nothing more upstairs. So you head back down, and Miranda and Ian are waiting. And Ian, as he's standing there, he's looking around the. So I went to the wrong run. He's looking to see how they got in. Is that what you said before we moved over there?
Mm-hmm.
So.
Somebody get that.
Yeah, somebody get that. So basically, it looks like they came through the slider that connects to the jacuzzi over here, and then also the front door somehow.
They were just able to walk in.
Or the side door. You are able to see that basically they somehow broke the latches.
Okay. Can I make a crafts check, witchcraft, to see what they? That would be the relevant. If you were to do maintenance on a car, it would be witchcraft, right?
Yeah, I mean, you just one of them had basically some sort of magnetic device to unlock a door, and that's how they got the front door open. Because it's like a special kind of door, and then the back they just basically broke the latch.
The bodies, by the way, while she's doing the coffee, can I search the pockets for any identification or
no ID
anything
whatsoever?
Crazy?
No,
what
there's
about
no
the pack that this guy was carrying.
He wasn't carrying a pack. He was carrying a shotgun only, and his goggles. And Miranda, she comes in and she's looking over the dead, the one dead body and the one and she's just shakes her head, and you notice that the female attacker breathing is slowing, and so if you don't get some help from the outside, she looks like she's going to die for sure. And without being able to call for anyone, the time passes, and finally, no matter what you do, she expires. And we've been going for almost 3 hours, so I think this might be a good place to cut it off unless you... I think this kind of wraps it up unless you want to move on to the next day and just tell me what you're going to do.
Jacob was actually thinking about just asking her what she knew about what's going on here. If she knew who these people were, but I'm not sure if he wants to yet.
No, you can ask if you want to.
So what were they called? What'd she yell?
You can just leave your friends behind.
She yelled something about the Holy Covenant.
So, and she said that they're here to avenge them, or to.
She said something like for the Holy Covenant, something like that.
So yeah, he'll turn to Miranda and say, Miranda, what do you know about a Holy Covenant?
She just like looks at you kind of blankly, and she's like, "Holy what?" And she appears to be confused. She's like, are these religious crazies?"
I don't know. That's just what she yelled when she attacked us.
She just says, "I don't know, Jacob."
Actually, because of my success levels, Ian's just gonna say out loud, she was just highly strung out on meth.
And Miranda be like, she's like, "Really? How can you tell?"
It's the drugs. It's always the drugs.
When I was in Iraq and Afghanistan, they have a really bad problem with opioids and, well, meth in general as well. And you see this kind of stuff all the time. They'll take bullets to the chest and keep running at you, and stuff that would kill a normal person. And he just kind of shakes his head. Jack, is there any way we can get communication at all? Is there anything on this mountain that we can get to, like maybe an old ranger tower? And he starts to like think back to his stuff.
Miranda says, "Well, I already tried the phone, and someone's cut the phone lines." So, and she's like, "John does have one of those satellite phones somewhere."
Right. We should find that phone. Jacob, you wouldn't know where that is, would you? Any survival gear? That large radio?
Worst comes to worst, we get some skis. Cross country out of here.
Jacob has his survival pack in his van. I guess that he always keeps for work.
Yeah, he doesn't have a satellite phone though. It's like super expensive. Yeah.
I thought the. Hold on, hold on.
Yeah, you got to realize your survival pack might say something like that, but you got to realize it's from a 2010.
Exactly. We decided that it was something different.
Yeah. So Miranda says, I think I know where it is. I'll just go upstairs and get it.
Oh no, it's fine. Just tell us where it is. We don't need you moving around too much, Miss Albridge. There still might be people around.
She's like, then come with me. I know where it is. I can't. It's in a safe.
Yeah, I mean,
if she goes, Jacob wants to go with her.
Need Barbara there to get her fucking stupid, crazy memory so we can get that fucking safe open when we need it.
Yeah, anybody can go up with her that want to.
At this point, we're not doing the Scooby-Doo. We're going with everybody.
Actually, Barbara, she's like, it might help if she has some feminine comfort around her instead of being followed around by a man all the time. So why don't you take this? And then she just hands the book and note back. But Ian can tell that there's another book, hidden underneath the current one. And she kind of looks at him pointedly.
Yeah, I mean, he'll pocket it.
I mean, you did this right. Like, so Miranda's standing right there, right? She kind of looks at you and she sees clearly you passed 2 books over, and she just kind of like puts her hand on her chin and she's like, "Why are you taking my property? Is that necessary?"
I didn't even get a chance to do a
Why can't that be associated with a stealth roll? Why did you just openly give that to somebody, Jaminos? Like, what?
Well, no, I thought that there would have been like a roll I could have made. I thought that
you got to tell me if you're. I mean, you got to. You said that.
This isn't a game where you just fucking do shit. You have to say what you do.
I wasn't trying to give anybody anything. Okay.
No, it's fine.
Can I go back and make a roll?
No.
Okay.
So she looks at you pointedly, and she's like, "May I see that?" And she like extends her hands, or a hand, and she's like, "If you want me to transcribe the book for you, I can. I'm a linguist." which is something that Jacob had no idea that was true.
Yeah, he's learning a lot of new things. So.
Yeah, I mean, Ian just kind of like looks not bewildered by the scene, but I mean, the original book that's his, he's keeping. She ain't getting that.
Yeah, she doesn't seem to have any interest in that. I mean,
actually, he's like, no. Ian actually says, no. Yeah, we seemed to have come across this the other day, and one of the suspects, Jack, and I just take a liking to it. I can't understand some of the words though, and he actually opens up the page. Can you see these?
you're talking about
And he like points to
Jack's book?
a random page in the book, and it's just completely blank. And he points to like, yeah, can you see that? What is that?
And she looks down at it, and her eyes trace across the page, and that's it for tonight.
I just fucked up.
And I'm telling you guys, she knew things she shouldn't know.